What is going on, you lovely people? Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are doing good. It's your boy Rover Queen. I'm back from a little 2 week hiatus. And as always, I'm joined by my lovely, scrumptious, delicious, handsome as fuck, and wild as fuck homeboys. Fellas, please reintroduce yourselves, starting with the madman Steph.
Oh, I'm the madman now.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, fair. Um, Hello everybody. I'm Steph. It's good to be back again. I wish we could show you why I'm now called the wild man, the madman, but we can't. Um, but yeah, no, it's good to be back. It's good to talk with the fellas again. And we got some interesting things to talk about. We're gonna keep it light, or at least we're gonna try to keep it light. And yeah, no, it's just been good.
Where AJ, go ahead, brother.
Hey everybody, it's AJ as always. Glad to be back. Don't know if I can be classified as wild as these two gentlemen here, but I have my moments. But
Yeah, you're normal.
what just happened definitely took the cake, but we'll keep that in the chat.
Yes, major TOS violation.
Yeah, no, we can't. We cannot show that.
No. Oh gosh. But yeah, good to be back with y'all, man. Especially after a while. And yeah, welcome to No Politics, Just Comics. Yeah, Joe. So listen, it's just another edition of us shooting this shit about comic books. So please take this time to disconnect. I know things a little bit crazy on the political side, so this is the space for y'all to just disconnect, unwind, crack open a little drinky drink, whether it's water, whether it's booze, or light up a little something, whether it's if you want to smoke some weed, by all means. If you want to smoke a cig, by all means, it's all good. No judgment over here. So please just use the time to kick back and unwind. So it's been a very crazy couple weeks in regards to comics. So we're gonna start off with this one here. So yesterday, a lot of us took a bit of a blow because we've all been following what's been going on with Jonathan Majors, especially if you've been on my channel. About 3 weeks ago, I put out a video talking about the possibility of Jonathan Majors joining the DCU. Why? Because Gunn got fired from Marvel and then went to DC, and Jonathan Majors got fired from Marvel, and maybe he could go to DC too. And I made a couple other videos talking about the whole entire legal proceedings, and we thought it was gonna be on the up and up for Jonathan Majors. We thought it was gonna be on the up and up, but yesterday we got hit with some, I don't even want to call it news. We just got hit with something from the court proceedings. So it's a clip from the trial, and Jonathan Majors admitted to putting their hands on his ex-girlfriend, Grace Jabari. So if you are already on the fence about Jonathan Majors, this didn't help. I think now the tide has shifted once again to more negative. But before we get too deep into it, let's have initial thoughts. So, AJ, as a fellow black man, what are your thoughts here, brother?
Yesterday, I think his PR team went ahead and they said we're gonna clock out for you, big dog. We don't know how much more spin we have in us. It's disappointing to see. In all seriousness, well, like we knew that there was abuse in that relationship. We from court documents, from text messages between the both of them. He has now been on tape admitting to putting his hands on her. And you can't do it. What'd you say, man? Keep your hands to yourself. I always say, and it's because I'm a bigger dude, so I've had to deal with this. Dog, when it's a woman, if you're not about to die, just walk away, dog.
Yeah.
Like that's got to be the last resort. Um, you know, it doesn't sound like it was that in this case. Yeah, yeah, we did see the video of him running away after the altercation, but apparently what's done is done. He admitted that he did in some way, shape, or form abuse her. So that's number one, right? Um, other than admitting what a lot of people had already suspected, I don't know how much this changes things because his career's already in the toilet for right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he's got the movie opening up in a few weeks. I think it might even be this week. I'm not sure. That was supposed to be the start of the comeback. We'll see how that goes. But all right, fuck it. Let's call a spade a spade. If we have seen people come back from abuse allegations in Hollywood before,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be a lot harder for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First, number one, before we even get into the race aspect of it, a lot of those people who have had these allegations, it's been years afterwards, right? It's almost like he was trying to speed run the comeback a little bit,
Mm.
and for various reasons, I understand that. But so his career probably isn't over, but however, it is going to be much harder for him. Um, we now know, like I said, the PR spin over the past few months. You see now it's kind of nakedly transparent now.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still trying today. They just came out. An article came out about an hour ago. He and
He
Megan
married.
Good apparently got married over the weekend or something in a private ceremony. So they're still trying
Mm-hmm.
to shine his image a little bit. You can't clean it up at this point, but that's always going to hang over him now. Even with the finding in the court case about it being third degree misdemeanor assault, which means he put his hands on her. He did not intend to hurt her. I don't know how much that difference is going to matter to people at this point.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to have to take some time. He's going to sit down. Before this, I had said that his it seemed like he's worked on himself. He's gotten in therapy. He's taking his lashes is probably the wrong word here, but essentially it's what it is. He's taking his lashes in the press, and so it seemed like he was on the right trajectory to do a comeback.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you going to add a few more years to this, dog. He had just had his people coming out supporting him. Michael B. Jordan had just come out and say, yeah, he plans on working with him again. McConaughey had come out saying, hey, man, this is a good dude, yada, yada, yada. And all that can still very well be true.
Mm-hmm.
But just because you're a good dude doesn't mean you can't essentially mess up. And you messed up, dog. So you're going to sit down for a little bit, bro. Hope you hadn't gone too crazy with your money. This one of the articles that came out over the past week made it seem like he's been eating into his nest egg a bit. So you might have to do some. I know Tubi is behind the magazine Dreams finally getting ready to come out. You might have to do some work with them, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your head afloat. But yeah, nah, it's nasty, bro. It is nasty out here, and even with because like I said, he maintains that they were both abusive in that relationship. That's fine. I'm not disputing that. Like I say, dog, if you ain't about to die, if you don't feel like your life or the life of someone else is in imminent danger, you just got to eat it, dog.
Yep.
Eat it and walk away.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we are today. I'm sure we'll get more news over the next few weeks because it seems like the story never ends. It's gonna be interesting. I hate to say, it depends on how much he wants to really fight this because there was a settlement that none of them could talk about this.
Yep.
Now you gotta wonder how this recording came out. Right after there are people on both sides of this seem like, and I'm not talking about the general public. I'm talking about his camp and Jabari's possibly camp, maybe somebody in the court system, whatever. Right after that article came out, this came out the next day. That was a little coincidental to me, but it's neither here nor there. I personally wouldn't fight it. You have the legal standing to go after it for this recording coming out. I personally wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Just eat it. Take your talking tos in the public and whatnot, and I guess keep doing the work. But you messed up, buddy.
Oof. Hold on, yo, Quentin, go ahead and introduce yourself to the people real quick, man.
What up? It's Quentin, aka QQ22 on Twitter. What's up, y'all?
Yeah,
What
well,
I missed?
we're talking about the Jonathan Major stuff, but I'm gonna let Steph go, and then I'll let you give your piece on that.
All right.
All right, Steph, go ahead, Brody. What are your thoughts?
I mean, AJ basically nailed it. It's
Also,
really just kind of
hold on,
like
Quentin, I'm gonna mute you real quick, cause like there's some background noise, but like when you're ready to go, I'll unmute you. All right, go ahead, Steph.
all right. Basically AJ nailed it, but like also, when we were talking about before we went on when we actually went live, worst possible timing.
Yeah.
Come out. And AJ brought it up too, where it's like it's a little coincidental that it just kind of all happened so fast. Like immediately after we start hearing rumblings about a new movie, they dropped this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, not to, like we said before, it's like, getting potentially conspiratorial. It's like, it sounds weird, I guess, but like also they do this. Like they do this to people. Like they keep dirt until they like need to release it. Like this is, it's not uncommon. And I want to sit here and be like, if you can, if Johnny Depp can come back,
yo,
and just be accepted again,
yo,
facts. And like if Johnny Depp can just kind of be accepted, then like anybody can. But also, this is Hollywood. This is the entertainment film industry.
Mm-hmm.
There is a little bit of a racial bias, right? He's definitely not coming back to Disney. They're not working with him probably ever again, and his obvious,
which is funny because Johnny Depp is coming back to who? Disney, but that's not here nor there.
Oh, he is?
Yeah,
Did I miss that?
They're doing another.
They're doing a new Pirates, man.
Oh, that's confirmed?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we sure it's confirmed?
Snyder posted it from his podcast, and then the trades picked it up a day later. If the trades are talking about it, you got to figure contracts are already being worked on.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit! Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But technically, that was a whole messy trial anyway. So like.
Yeah. But damn, I didn't know that. But shit. But yeah, keep going, Steph.
Yeah, I mean, it's just obviously the industry being what it is, and the distinct lack of morals, that they have. This is obviously going to be a much more like unfair, fight to kind of stay in the industry, and that's again, I want to say like, oh, if Johnny Depp can come back, then anyone can, but like. I just don't know. I really don't know. It does kind of depend on, how much people probably still care about the story, but that's also probably why they dropped the audio, maybe potentially. I would like to believe in the good of people, but also, you drop it right after he announces a movie. I kind of have to suspect that maybe it is a little bit coordinated.
Yep.
And it's just I don't fucking know. I don't really know. But he seems like he's genuinely been trying to get his life back together. Like we said before, he's going to therapy. He is working on himself. The only thing I guess anybody can hope at this point is, people, if he, genuinely does grow, that people give him the chance to show that he's grown. And, that's really all anybody can say at this point, I guess. Just, pray to God everything works out. I don't know. Yeah, I don't really. All right.
No,
I mean,
I got you.
it's just a disheartening situation, really. It's just kind of hard to formulate formulate words about it in a little way, in a little bit. But regardless, I really don't have anything else to say. Let's bring Quentin in.
Quentin, all right, what are your thoughts, brother, on this whole thing?
All right, so AJ hit on well, as soon as I got in, AJ was hitting all the chords. It's
Mm-hmm.
perfect timing, considering the movie release. And I read something from Isaac Haynes the third. I don't know if this is Isaac Haynes' son, but he
Mm-hmm.
was saying how it's coincidental that
Yeah,
Rolling
yeah,
Stone
that
has
is his
been
son, by the way.
okay. Rolling Stone has been leading the pitchforks for this most of the time. They've been the driving force, dropping every bombshell basically.
Mm-hmm.
And it does seem like they got a bone to pick with Jonathan Majors, that publication in themselves. Also,
Mm.
so I wouldn't say this on the timeline because I don't want it to feel like I'm, victim blaming or supporting an abuser. But I don't think you can take. He's a Harvard educated person. You do not. The wording that he used in that article does not. I mean, in that clip doesn't sound like Harvard educated person. If you get my drift. Yeah, he used a fancy word in there, but like, do you think he's really gonna say that? Like I want to say in this age with AI, we just
Yeah,
saw, for example, with Drake, we
Oh.
just saw Drake use Tupac's voice and Snoop's voice on the song. You don't tell me you
Mm.
don't think people with the right resources could mimic Jonathan Majors from all his movies, right? Some of the things he said, some of his vocal patterns. I don't know, bro. It's just one of those eras where like
Oh,
it's
yeah, that's a big thing you're throwing out there. Oh shit.
and you know what's crazy to me? It's more so we're all comic book fans. We're all fans of the hero or like the redemption story. Like everybody deserves a second chance, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
that's why we don't. That's why the no kill rule is a thing, right? Because we're not judge, jury, and executioner. And I feel like ever since everybody has social media platforms, we've become the jury, the judge, and the executioner of somebody's character.
Ooh.
You know what's crazy? You can make a mistake. You can be and not that I'm saying it's okay, not that you don't lose points for doing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying it's an excuse to do it, but y- just using something like sports. I've been mad about losing. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
to a certain degree, not like McElroy and I'm breaking tennis rackets and nothing like that, but like if you would have said something that triggered me, not a woman per se, but you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I
you
see
can
your
make a
drift.
mistake, bro, and I feel like everybody deserves. If you didn't murder, rape, or like murder or slaughter fucking people,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you can come back from it, right? And I'm
Mm.
not, and I don't mean to say like it's okay to strangle women or anything that anybody can misconstrue, because obviously that's not how I feel. I have a daughter, I have a mother, I have sisters,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, but I think all of this is convenient. I even looked at like the Twitter page for the movie. Like I don't know if everybody unfollowed it, but it's only like 200 followers in that hell.
Oh shit, damn.
oh,
Like only like 200 followers and 80 people that they follow. And it's like, damn man, this is gonna be an interesting movie. And we're not gonna see it because this came out again. Like we're going to victimize a, and I ain't gonna lie, it's certain people on the timeline. I'm not gonna say no names, but like you'll see them flag bearing and virtue signaling about. I ain't even gonna say the quote because if I say the quote, you're gonna know exactly who said it,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to ruin that working relationship that I have with that person.
Mm-hmm.
But I say that to say like we got to stop using people's darkest moments as a way to clout chase, a
Yeah.
way to
Ooh,
get your
say that
name up,
again. Say that
a way
again.
we got to stop relishing in people's downfalls and thinking that you get a badge of honor because you condemned them on your platform. You don't get no kudos for that shit, bro. Like it's easy to say the shit now with your chest out,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not easy to say that shit when it seemed like it was just this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everything, like Jonathan Major had been on a heater the last month and a half. Michael
Mm-hmm.
B. Jordan said he was gonna work with him again. I want to do Creed 4 with him. You know, it was building to that. And like I said, I already said to play. It's his best bet to tap back into that fan base is DC. DC is his
Yeah.
best thing. We've already
Yeah, we talked about
Steph,
it.
yeah, so like, I think we talked about it in our group chat, but I never told Steph. But like, I think there's a lot of roles of heroes in DC that he'll fit the bill for, right? It's just his acting styles. I think you could get a really good Ray Palmer out of him if you want to do the race bin thing. He could be a great Vandal Savage if you want to be honest.
Ooh.
Ooh. Oh, okay.
But I think that's where his ego is. I think James Gunn has been a victim of this same situation in a way.
Yeah.
He was just able to kind of he faded it. Like you know what I'm saying? He stood in the ring for that shit and and kind of weathered the storm. Everybody would call him a pedophile and rape jokes, this, and, Guardian Galaxy 2 and 3 still stole $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like we gotta stop. I don't know, man. Like it's just we got so much outrage, and it's like I don't know why people want to do that, bro. But like all in all, to bring it home so we can keep this on time. He's just gonna have to take the L on this one, bro. And you gotta hope people see the movie for what it is, bro, and hope the
Mm-hmm.
art speaks for it, bro. Like I gotta think that Megan Good isn't doing this. Megan Good doesn't need Jonathan Major to boost her up, right? So
Yeah,
I
I
gotta
think
think.
she's in it for him. Like that's what it seems like to me.
I gotta think that Megan Good is not a bird. I gotta think
Yeah.
Megan Good is hear the story, hear the you know, the things that don't make sense, and even holding him accountable. Like, why would you even
Mm.
put yourself in that situation? Like, at the end of the day, I'm okay with holding somebody accountable. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
Yeah.
fucked up, you made a mistake, you got to eat what you live in. But at the same time and token, eh, the man's taking his L's, he's taking public scrutiny. If he hasn't did it again, and it's just like I just don't like when something bad happens and then all of a sudden people that don't matter got comments, oh, he was aggressive in college and did he went to Harvard, bro. He was a black man at Harvard. Of course he was aggressive, bro. What are you talking about? Like of course he had to have a chip on his shoulder. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Like, I hate to even play that up, but like, for somebody who wanted to go to Stanford and Harvard, bro, like, there's a lot to come with that shit, bro. Like,
Yeah.
to get admitted, then you're admitted there not for sports, for the arts. Like, you can tell by his like way he dresses, the roles he takes, he cares about the acting part.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if this is a case of Heath Ledger, he got two in role, but whatever the situation may be, I mean, I think we gotta. I don't know, man. You gotta give the man some grace. We gotta stop bringing the old shit up, bro. Like it's over, bro. She already won. Why are we bringing this back up, dog? Like
Yeah.
you just wanted that back on everybody's mind, fresh. And that's like I said, this is AJ said it. It's not worth suing Rolling Stone for. But if I'm Jonathan Majors, I'm putting the word out on Rolling Stones, right? Like to
Mm.
all actors, like don't work with them, bro. If this is what they do, if this is what things, these are the sneaky things they do to one up, people that I'm pretty sure Rolling Stones came to him for an interview plenty of times
Mm-hmm.
before this happens, right? So I don't know, man. Jonathan Majors is a tough one, bro, because it's like you could potentially piss so many people off by just giving grace. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Agreed.
and man, it's unfortunate, bro, but like, you know, tough. The heavy's the head that wears the crown. You know what I'm saying? He was
Mm-hmm.
the hottest. He technically was the biggest black actor at the time, right? Especially with Chadwick, passing away.
Yeah.
Him and Michael B. Jordan had a moment to take the crowd,
Mm-hmm.
and it could have shared it going farther. But like, it's Michael B. Jordan. I mean, at this point, he's the Will Smith of this era.
Yeah.
He's the safest one to go to. He's the most cookie cutter clean. You know what I'm saying? He got a fresh face. You just gotta hope that relationship's strong enough for him to put him in roles, and just you hope you made enough industry friends to kind of keep you afloat. But
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is at this point, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. My thing is this. It's kind of like a mix of all y'all's. It's just like this feels. Yeah, this feels coordinated. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that comes to mind. This feels very coordinated because, like, for me, um, and I'll yeah, for me, I'm multi-layered with this conversation. For me, it's not black and white. Like,
Hmm.
I don't take back anything I said in previous videos. I stand by everything I said. I still believed at the time, there could have been a chance for him to come back and do some work with DC. I still believe he was an idiot for putting himself in that situation. And if y'all didn't watch that video, I'm just gonna repeat a little bit what I said. I said he's an idiot because number one, whenever it comes to domestic situations with women and men, fellas, you are always at a disadvantage. Always.
Hmm.
Always. If she snatches that phone, if she snatches that PS5, fuck it. If she snatches the laptop, whatever it is, bro, that's hers. That is hers. If you were doing some fuck shit on there, listen, technology is so advanced, you can get rid of shit remotely. At this point, whatever the situation is, they snatch it, it's theirs. They put their hands on you, bro, just take your lashings, and if you can, just get the fuck up out of there. The only time it's acceptable for you to put your hands on a woman is if you are trying to defend yourself and you trying to get the fuck up out the situation, or it's severe to where you gotta hold somebody down because your life or somebody else's life may be in danger. That's the only time. Besides sex and consensual, if it's consensual, that's the only time. So I still do believe he was wrong to put himself in that situation. I didn't think things need to blow up like that. But also too, I also believed in a redemption for him. And I still do believe there is a chance for redemption. You know, he like Quentin said, he ain't do nothing too egregious where, yeah, it really does warrant some of the backlash. But also at the same time too, like, that's a human being. And yeah, no, it looks away when he got this movie that's about to come out, and then how the fuck did this even get out? That's the first thing too. How did this get out, and why did it get out the way it did? Like, cool, we knew already there was the relationship was tumultuous. That's understandable, but just like, damn, bro, with the way everything just lined up, I said it to Steph, and it might be taken as a joke, but because I'm Haitian, I can say it. Like, bro, at this point, I'm convinced somebody got a voodoo doll of him in Haiti with a chicken leg next to it, or whatever the fuck they do for voodoo. No, I'm dead serious, bro. Because there's no way, bro. There's no way. There's no way when you're on the up and up. Michael B. Jordan says this. McConaughey says this, and everybody's starting to be on your side again, and then you got this movie coming out, and then boom. Because it's like, I read the article. It seems like he's still battling those demons. He had a very fucked up childhood. and he's battling those demons, and everybody makes those mistakes. But damn, bro, to take somebody like this is fucked up to me, bro. And I say this while holding him accountable, but I can also hold you accountable, but also say like the way that things are playing out is very fucked up. It's very fucked up. Like whoever gave that to Rolling Stone or whoever was behind the scenes coordinating that, bro, I'm telling you right now, and I always say this whenever these situations pop up. Like karma or whatever it is going to come for you, and it's not gonna be sweet. It's not gonna be sweet. Like that's some mean and foul shit. And again, I'm saying this while holding him accountable for all that. But that karma, bro, I hope the money you got was worth it. I hope the connections you got was worth it. I hope the validation you got from the retweets, and I hope it was worth it. Because, and I'm saying this to y'all here too, everybody, it can happen to anybody, bro. That situation is not just because this can happen to anybody. So that's why I try my best not to put judgment on there, and that's why I put out that tweet yesterday. I said I stand by everything that I said in my videos. But also at the same time too, yeah, we can hold you accountable. But this could happen to anybody. So that's why I could be disappointed. But at the same time too, like I could also say this is wrong, this is foul, and that's a human being, bro. Like that's crazy. That's crazy. But all I can say is congrats to him getting married to Megan Good. Congrats. I think that's the only saving grace here with everything. He got married to, somebody who stuck by him. And I do also want to say too, just like I think Megan Good is really in it for him. Like I don't think
we're way past the point of this being like a PR relationship or whatever. Like like dog, if that's the case, y'all kick it for a few months, then y'all break up. We're still friends.
Inside the check
dog,
tour.
These people just got married, dog.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing too, to wrap up, just like that's why I hate this era that we live in, and I hate to sound old, but I guess I am getting older as 30,
embrace the old shit, dog. I've long since done it. I'm the cranky old man at this point.
I hate this era, bro, because it's just like, who knows? Like their wedding could have been planned for when we found out about it a while ago, but now everybody's saying, oh, they're doing this, for XYZ. Like, no, bro. Like, this could have been planned way in advance. Like, not everything happened. Not everything is a reaction. Some things can just be planned. So, I don't know, man. It sucks. It sucks because I do, in my heart of hearts, like I said, I don't know this man, but I do feel like, as a whole, we were ready to move on. I think he was ready to move on. But to go in, that's how did that get out, bro? Like that's the part that's true. Like how? Why?
I feel like old girl might have a. Cause what was old girl's role? His ex. What was her role at Disney/Marvel?
She worked on set. I can't remember what she did, but okay, if the two of them are having this conversation, right? You assume she's the one recording it. Now, it could have been him, but I'm just gonna say she's likely the one who recorded it. He admits to this on tape. Cool.
Yeah, and this is in. We're all assuming this is in court because this sounds like this is in court where he's admitting this, right? Am I thinking about it
to
wrong?
me, it sounded like a conversation between two people.
Yeah, between them two.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking it was from court. Okay.
Yeah. Now it may have been submitted into the court documents, but even that gets iffy because if you're recording somebody without their consent, depending on the state, that like I said, that gets it. But like I said, I wouldn't fight it if I was him. It's out there.
Oh, that you know what? That makes a lot of sense, AJ, because it might have been this wasn't admissible. So I don't know. Y'all watch court shows. They'll sometimes say things just to say it, and it'll have it stricken from the record. But I mean, you can strike it from the record, but the juror still heard it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Mm.
it could be a
And
situation to where like, yeah, go ahead.
so I don't know. I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt, and I'm gonna assume she gave this to somebody however long ago before a settlement was even hashed out, and they just put it out without her knowing, right? If that's the case,
Oh.
you can't really go after her. Um, you can, but damages would be very much limited.
Yeah.
If she put this out recently, she is legally liable because they have signed a settlement agreement, non-disclosures, yada yada yada. A payment's been made, all of this. Like I said, it's just not worth it at this point in time. But yeah, how it came out, it doesn't look good. Forget the context of the recording for a minute. Just the fact that this came out either somebody had it and sat on it for months, or
Usual. Yeah.
right, or you willingly broke a settlement agreement
Oh.
for whatever reason.
Yeah, because it's with prejudice that because it got dismissed with prejudice,
Yeah,
meaning like this
meaning,
can't even come
you're
back.
right. You can't try it again.
That's a benefit to putting this out also too, because we can't take it to court again.
Yeah. How it came out is nasty. Like Ro knows. I don't know if I told Q or Steph. Like I went to school for journalism. Worked at very low level, but worked with CNN and stuff for a little bit. So when you get stuff like this, now, yeah, obviously people got to check, verify, make sure stuff is legit and whatnot. But instances where people sit on stuff just to release it later, it happens, yeah, but dog, everybody gonna be looking at you sideways from that point on. So if Rolling Stone had this, yeah, that's nasty work, bro. If they had it, I'm gonna assume that everybody was operating under good faith. But see, here's the thing: if you want to assume people are operating under good faith, neither party can both be operating under good faith at the same time in this instance, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Because if Rolling Stone is operating in good faith and they just got this, if they got it from Miss Jabari, then she broke her settlement agreement. If Miss Jabari operated in good faith and gave this to whoever before this was published, then assuming there's no middleman, then Rolling Stone sat on this for months in order to drop it at a time when they would figure they would get the most clicks, views, eyeballs on their website, on their magazines, whatever.
And that's
So
nasty.
it's right. Assuming there's nobody in the middle. And now if it's somebody in the middle, yeah, you can take both parties off the hook somewhat, but it's not pretty. So that's the only other thing I had to add to it. Like,
It makes sense.
he
now.
said what he said. He admitted it. Cool. You got to take that. But how it came out, that sent my antennas up all day when I was reading it, when I was listening to and reading that for the first time. I'm just like, yeah, this isn't something's not on the up and up with that. But nobody's going to pay attention to that because of the context of the recording, which is the bigger story and arguably should be. But it is what it is.
Yeah, but we'll, like I said, we'll see where things go from here. Because we thought it was over, but apparently it's not. So, but then again, like we said, I doubt there's gonna be any legal issues that spins out of this. This is just the L he's gonna have to take. But we'll see. But like I said, while I'm also gonna hold him accountable, I'm also gonna say congratulations too. So, like, listen, brother. He got a woman that stuck by him. He's married to her, and I think honestly, as long as he is at peace, I think that's all that matters. Is if he's good and he's at peace with himself and he's still doing the work, by all means, fuck everything we saying, fuck Rolling Stones and fuck Twitter and whoever else is commenting. He's the only one that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Vin Diesel
so
might give him a job.
yeah, hey, like if he pops up in Fast, I ain't gonna be mad. I'm not gonna be mad. So yeah, man. So we'll see how this goes. But yeah, like Joe Budden always says, prayers to everybody involved. But
You
moving
know what
on.
I'm saying?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Moving on. So we got some other news. So Scott Snyder doing his usual, spoilery shit as always. He revealed that we are getting an absolute crossover later this year. And the juicy tidbit about what he said was that it's going to be something along the lines of like, the people discovering that the universe is tilting towards losing and it's tilting towards villainy. So I think this is cool, but also I'm also like wondering, is it too soon for a crossover? Because I can't help but play the comparison game because I talked about it with the other guys on Countdown, but the consensus was that it makes sense that Ultimate Incursion is happening because by the time Ultimate Incursion goes on, most of these books would have been out for a full year versus Absolute, where would it have been a year since later this year? Would have been a year since most of these books have been out?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Uh,
mean,
You're
the
6 or
Trinity.
7
when you
right
get to
now. So
September
yeah.
or later, it'll have been a year.
Oh, okay. Oh, damn. So maybe it's not too soon because I was like, damn, this feels kind of soon. But I always do the comparison thing. But overall, I'm of two minds. For me, I like that these books are doing their own separate thing. Same goes for the Ultimate Universe. I love it, right? I love Wonder Woman. I think that's the best one on the shelves right now. Absolute Superman is second, and Batman is just fucking Batman to me. So like if they
Oh,
can stay separate to me, that's fine. But you know, part, I'm more interested in their individual stories than I am with them crossing over because all three of the stories individually are fucking bangers. But what do you guys think in regards to this potential crossover? I guess we could start with you, Quentin, since I'll go in reverse. So what are your thoughts, bro?
um, all right. So I'm of two minds. One, you strike while it's hot, right? Like we just said, Ultimate Incursions is coming. Um, the saving grace of this is that it's a one shot. It's not gonna be a crossover like in the series, if I'm not mistaken. I think he said that in part two. So it's probably gonna be like a one shot. So as long as it's like a 48 pager and we get back to our side stories, then I'm cool. But I mean, it didn't take it what the Justice League met the whole Justice League form in original continuity with like issue 56, right? And I think Batman and Superman knew each other first, and then they
Mmm.
met Wonder Woman, right? In this case, they're doing it in reverse. Wonder Woman, and honestly, this is just a rehash of 5G shit. I don't know if anybody caught that shit because if you remember, they had retcon Wonder Woman to be the first hero, right?
Mmm.
So that's an element they took from 5G. I'm already seeing it, but some of the ideals we'll see some 5G concepts play out. I think this is what spawned. This was a I think this was part of those conversations, if that makes sense, right?
Oh.
Um, because like I ain't gonna lie, like I'm in Scott's writing class, right? So for like a year and a half, he's been talking about and granted, I'm a horrible student. I'm not active in the Discord. They probably don't know who the fuck I am. Um, um, I haven't listened to a class probably in a year, and I'm still paying for it. But I still say I'm a class
Don't feel
member
bad, bro.
because
They just charged my card, and I
God damn it,
You know what I'm
yo.
saying?
I'm
So
so behind too, bro.
Oh
You
my
see what? You
god.
see what wealth does? You see what wealth does? You see?
you
Never
know,
Hey
mind.
man, we
so,
chill out, bro. We
Yeah.
we
You
we ain't
you
you
know
there.
what I'm
you
saying?
can't, bro. You literally were talking about three omnis you haven't read or even opened yet before we got on.
It's so crazy, bro. Like at this point, I may have to switch to digital, bro, because like one, I'm running out of space in my house, and I just moved in here, and then like,
Damn.
and like I know I need to. I know I'm a horrible comic book collector. Sidebar. I know I need to get some fucking long boxes, because Shaq was on my ass. Shaq actually bought me some long boxes and sent them to me. So shout out to
Damn,
Shaq for
bro.
that. I
It's that
appreciate
bad.
that shit.
Wow.
Because like I got like big bins of them shits, but I never have been a comic book collector in it to sell, like keep it to. If I'm broke here, I'm gonna cash in this death of Superman. I'm back up. You know what I mean? I never
Hmm.
Yeah.
thought about it like that shit. So, and a lot of these books are from like from college. You know what I'm saying? So they've been transported through like apartment after apartment after move, breakup after breakup, parents' house, move in, move out. So some of the books are naturally war, you know what I'm saying? And that's back in the day where like you read, I didn't, you know what I'm saying, you read your comics multiple times over and over again type of thing.
Hmm.
So, but point to the point, I like it, bro. So like I really have I trust Scott. I
Yeah.
trust in everything they talk about. Even with the additions to, you know, adding more heroes. I think logically you add Martian Manhunter, you're trickling it in.
Hmm.
Ultimate's kind of high pace, bro. Like it's for the build up. The Ultimate side of that shit for Marvel is it's pretty balls to the wall, bro. Like except X-Men. I think X-Men is the slowest cooking one, and with respect to Black Panther kind of being a slow payoff,
Expense the
but
best
Black
one.
Panther
My
was
fault.
but it was exciting to read it. It was exciting to read the dynamics that were forming, right? That was it wasn't necessarily the payoff with Moon Knight and Raw. It was the we learned these characters again, but that's
Hmm.
another conversation. But I think I have no problem with them going as long as it's the one shot and we get back to Wonder Woman being in Gateway City. We keep getting, absolute everything he's talking about. Absolute Batman sounds amazing. I can't wait to get to episode. I can't read what it's next tomorrow. We'll get to see Joker. But I can't wait to see Joker sin Bane. So it's like what I took from Scott's interview was like Joker's the king. Like Joker's like he runs shit. Like you know what I'm saying. Like
Hmm.
if Bane is his lackey, shit's finna get crazy. You know what I'm saying. So
Hmm.
Hmm.
and then so I don't know. And then like Superman, unfortunately, I Superman's getting to like the shit end of my stick, like with like
Really?
my well, I've read all of them, but like as in reading with a certain level of attention, if that makes sense.
Mm.
Like at some points, I feel like I'm kind of just going through the motions, but that's just the fact that I'm trying to binge like 10 comics to catch up. I got like like two stacks worth of shit I haven't really read. Like
Hmm.
I read issue one of goddamn Rodney Barnes Batman story. I can't and I got two, three, and four sitting on the table. So but I don't know. I think it's cool, especially with incursions coming. You're gonna need something to combat that for a couple weeks, and that's
Yeah.
gonna be a 6 month story, which is fucking insane. But no, no, I think I'm good. I mean, that's really all I gotta say. Like they have consistently hit it out the park. I don't think we have any reason to doubt Jason Aaron's, Scott Snyder, and Kelly Thompson.
Oh
Dennis
God.
Camp is earning his chops for the Ultimates, and Jeff Lemire, Jeff Lemire is Jeff Lemire. So these are all writers in their own ways that have built the universes before, right?
Hmm.
Jeff Lemire with Black Hammer, um, Dennis Camp, Man in the Ultimates, which is probably probably the best. I don't know, it's probably the best book in the Ultimates line outside Spider-Man to me.
There. Okay. Okay.
Black Panther School. I think I'm partial to those two, but no, I think Ultimate, I think the Absolute Universe is on fire. I think they should just continue. If it's organic, I guess I'll say it like this: if it's organic, if the meetup has at some point, whatever issues Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman happen before this happens, if it's a natural like, hey, Starro pops up, right, and now but they're in vicinity, they all see it and they go to the epicenter and that's how they meet or some shit like that. Then I'm cool with that. And then that's how Wonder Woman, 10 ended, and that's how Batman 11 ended, and that's how Superman 9
Mm.
ended, right? That's how we do it, and we get the story out the way. They introduce each other. Wonder Woman tell them what's up, and then we probably get a Booster Gold payoff in that eventually,
Oh
because
shit,
Booster's
that's
somewhere in the
right. I
yeah.
universe.
forgot about
So,
Booster, man.
um,
Oh, free
and I
Booster.
gotta finish Aquaman, but I saw something about Aquaman turning in the dark side, so I gotta finish it. I got halfway
Yeah,
through.
that's
I
a
gotta finish
weird
the
choice
ending.
for where all the dark side stuff is happening in the Aquaman
I,
book.
I
I'm
like
reading
it.
it,
I
but I'm
like Aquaman so much, bro.
like
I
the
don't know
latest
why,
issue I still have to read is sitting on my shelf upstairs. But
but this whole blue exploration, the exploration of the blue is interesting
mhm,
because they kind of introduce those elements type of thing during Brightest Day. But the only one that really
right.
gets attention is the green, the red, and maybe the rot. So now that the waters, you know what I'm saying, Aquaman having Mara's power makes so much sense, right? Uh,
Hmm.
I don't know, like I really Dino made a comment that, Jeremy Adams books are just rehashes of Jeff John books, and I just beg to differ on that shit, bro.
Yeah,
I was like,
and to not only to sidebar too much, but honestly though, I think it's best that it's to Aquaman stuff that most of that stuff is consolidated because it's like, yo, what else can you do with Aquaman at this point? I'm sorry to say it, but what else can you do? Like, what
I
else?
think the question is, what can you do that's going to sell?
Yeah,
That's what it
that
is.
too.
Because you
That
could do
too.
some Aquaman stories, but because I would die for an Aquaman story that's similar to Brave and the Bold, but that
Yeah,
you only
yeah.
can do so much of that in a book. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And that's why I think you putting it. If you look at, they're strategically putting where the dark side shit is like. If you're not reading Challenger the Unknown, you're missing a lot of shit for this initiative,
Oh,
right? So I'm a
really?
big champion of that book. So I feel like there's a lot coming out. They're placing certain B-list heroes in certain spots, and Aquaman being like whatever. In fact, I got to finish it, but like I like the build up right to whatever the next event is. I don't know, man.
I dig.
I think they're doing. I believe in Mark Wade. That's where I'm gonna wrap it up at. So like, I believe in Mark Wade. I believe in Scott Snyder as architects, right? And I think this is Scott on his revenge tour from everything with Death Metal and Justice League and that particular shit with Capella wasn't really super well received. If that makes sense. So
All right, hold up, hold
I
on.
think this is just
Q,
all right. I can show y'all I can do this.
try to log in and log out. Try to pop in and pop out again because you're cutting in and out. I don't know if your connection is doing some weird shit. Hold on. All right, hold on. Sorry, y'all. Just want to make sure everything good.
You got rid of
AJ.
AJ.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. Yeah, Quentin will be right back. But yeah. Oh, what about you, Steph? What are your thoughts?
Um, I guess the only really thought that I have, um, the only real one I have is that like I like the fact that it's like a special. It's like a one shot. Apparently, it's not like like an event or like a mini or whatever. It's just like a one and done where I guess
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna like meet each other, and I assume they're gonna go back to whatever they were doing, and then eventually we're gonna get like an absolute league book or whatever. And I think that's probably the best pacing. I feel like if
Yeah.
we went to, I know he says there's like two more absolute books that they haven't announced yet, and like I feel like if one of them was just like with the mainline Trinity only having like a year's worth of issues, and we immediately go into like an ongoing about the league, I feel like that would be way too fast, like
Yeah.
way too fast. Um, but them doing like a one shot where they just kind of meet each other, and they at least have that connection, and then whatever happens down the line, they acknowledge that the other heroes exist,
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of formative moment, and then we just kind of go back to what we were doing until maybe it's time for I assume I don't know for sure, but I feel like maybe they probably want to wait until the other books that they're gonna start coming out with next. Well, no, this month. I feel like they probably want to wait until those are pretty far enough along before they do a league book.
Mm.
But then again, like Flash is like a child, so like I don't know, but like, um, and like Martian Manhunter was. I mean, it's definitely getting extended now, but it was like made to be like a mini. So like I don't know for
Yeah,
sure like what.
then they got the numbers for Martian Manhunter, and a goddamn Martian Manhunter book is hitting 120,000 copies.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Make that shit an ongoing now.
What?
Yup.
Yes.
Whoa!
Oh man.
Is it
I-
really,
Goddamn
y'all really
Martian
think, do y'all
Manhunter
think
in
it's gonna be that good,
2025
bro?
hitting 120.
I mean,
That's the one book I'm taking an outliner on, bro. I might be a hater. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I
No,
mean,
I'm not. I was looking kind of iffy about it too, the premise of it, but from everything that I've heard from people who have been able to check it out early, they say the shit is gas. So
damn.
I'm like, all right, I'm
Really?
going in. Yeah.
yeah,
So
I mean,
so
it's
I'm ready
also
to see it.
it's also just like what Q was saying beforehand. Dennis Camp has like really made a name for himself lately.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I told Ro before this, but I just read that first issue of Assorted Crisis Events like yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty
I heard
good.
of they reviewed it on iFanboy. I was gonna check it out. I've been bad on keeping up with indie titles though. I've been bad.
I read it in digital. I can't. I honestly can't add any more shit to my pull.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get rid
Yeah.
of shit, bro. Like, fuck. I'm
I
trying
got
to
rid of
get rid of.
JSA.
I can't get rid of JSA only for two reasons: Wade's on the book and Mora. So if I ever did want to sell the run, it's gonna sell for the especially if Justice League, if the perception of Justice League as a whole changes in the next 10 years.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, I'm keeping that shit.
Yeah. No,
I'm
that's fair.
keeping
That's
that.
smart. Um,
Yeah,
but
I'm
yeah,
not even a
no, I mean,
spectator like that.
yeah, I mean, I mean, with Manhunter clearly getting extended, and like Flash being like a teenager, and I don't know how whatever they're gonna do, whatever Ewing is gonna do with Green Lantern. Um, I don't know what their plan is, but I imagine it's like they probably want to wait for a while until those three get off the ground, and then they do a
Mm.
league. Um, but like, yeah, I think this is a pretty smart move. You do like your funny little one shot where they meet each other, and then that's it for a while. They just like acknowledge that it's they got literal super powered people out there, and all that, and then they just go back to doing what they were doing before, because that's kind of like one of the big things that to me, and I guess to a lot of people, is like the really kind of the big selling point, or like one of the most likable things, one of the most grabbing things about them, is that they're all just completely separate, and
Yeah.
they're all just kind of in their own lane doing their own shit. I mean, and I feel like they wouldn't want to ruin that too quick.
Hell no.
Yeah, the Trinity got enough. Obviously, they're the Trinity. They have enough pull to like just do whatever for a little bit. But yeah, no, I mean, we're gonna get Mr. Freeze real soon. Um, a little off topic, I guess, but like his Mr. Freeze looks real cool.
I've been avoiding everything. Like I just want to be
Okay.
surprised. I've avoided
Okay, no,
everything.
that's very fair. It looks really weird.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sold then. I'm fucking sold.
He looked weird. He looks weird as fuck. If this is what his Mr. Freeze looks like, the thought of what his Scarecrow looks like is kind of freaky.
Ooh.
Can I say something?
Dude. Yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
not I'm not a fan of Freeze, bro. Like I
I get
don't.
it.
I mean, I don't. That's the wrong hero. I think that's the wrong one to get. Okay, I ain't read the story yet, so we'll preference that. I might. This is set to maybe change, right? But from that visual off the cover, I mean, I guess it's cool. It's different. I mean, that's kind
No,
of how I feel. But like,
I'm ready to see Bane because if Batman
Yeah.
is that fucking big,
Oh
and Bane
shit,
Yeah.
that's right.
anybody
supposed to be
watching
bigger.
Reacher? Reacher season 3?
Yeah.
That's immediately what
Dog,
I
I
went through,
started the
bro.
first episode like probably 3 weeks ago and haven't gone back. And I love Reacher, so I don't understand why I haven't just set my ass down to watch it. Like, but
It's
yeah,
pretty good. I
I've been
like it.
meaning to get back on it.
But nah,
Yeah.
if because
Bane about to be 12 feet tall. Like,
Oh shit, I'm scared now. What if he's just a mini me? But
oh
he's
man.
a mini me, but he's doing damage. I mean, think about it though. Like, come on, were we expecting a diesel ass Batman like this? No.
No, not at
No.
all.
So imagine he's just some scrawny guy, but he's still doing damage out here. Hold on, I can see it.
so you mean like just tall,
Or
like
I just had
Victor
to thought.
Wembanyama, or like I don't know, man. He said he's bigger than Batman.
Oh fuck, never mind.
But yeah,
Oh.
but see, here's the thing. I did just think about. What if he's bigger but not muscle, fat? You get like a
Like
blob
fat,
situation,
yeah.
Oh,
Oh, you get
but he is
fat
just like
Bane.
wrecking shop, almost like Ultimate Blob from back in the day. Just oh my, ripping people in half and oh okay. That might be a little too edgy for what they're trying to do, but
Shit,
okay.
he's already damn near killing people.
Yeah, might as
Yeah.
well.
Damn near.
Shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, AJ, what are your quick thoughts, Brody?
I'm cool with them all meeting up. You know, it's the Trinity. It's gonna happen at some point. Um, I've just been enjoying so much the separate stories by themselves to where like I initially had the same thought as you. I'm like, man, that's kind of quick, but then looking at the calendar, like we're already hitting what issue 6 or 7 of Batman tomorrow. I think it's issue 6 tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so I say, hey, if it happens like after September, that's a year for all the first 3 books.
Mhm.
I'm down with it. I'm cool. I like the idea of Diana being the first one to discover Batman and Superman.
Yep.
That brings me back to wanting to stay separate because like Superman is about to go back to Kansas for the first time. We don't know what his connection to the Kents are because
Oh, shit. Oh, don't say
did
nothing.
they
I still have to read
okay.
last week's issue. My fault.
All
My
right,
fault.
all
My
right, all
fault.
right. Never mind. But like I'm just super intrigued about the stuff in that book. Like I don't have a definitive favorite because it keeps changing with these books. That's how
Really?
good everything's been. Yeah, like it's hard for me to pin down like what I love the most. Like for a while it was Batman and it was Wonder Woman. Then I had missed like 2 issues of Superman, so I went back and read those 2 back to back, and I love those. So it's like, bro, I'm just all in on this absolute line. I don't want them to get too crazy and expand it too much, but I'm starting to wonder if that's what's going to happen going into because we're in year 2 now. We've got 3 more books coming, and we said, and Scott said it's at least another 2 unannounced. So that gets you to 8. You assume 7, and then your eventual Justice League title. So that gives you
So I think some of
eight
those
books.
titles are going to be miniseries, though.
I hope so.
Yeah, I see. That's what I thought too. But if the sales keep doing this, I don't know if I see them leaving
I don't
them as
know.
minis.
I don't know if we're going to sit there and speculate about coming titles to tie into the overall narrative between the main line and the absolute after this.
Hmm.
But I do got something to say. Like,
What's up?
please stop asking creators about milestone, bro.
What?
Oh,
Puts them in
bro,
such
I
it
watched
puts
that
them in
interview.
such a hard position, bro.
Oh
No,
shit!
Scott was
You got to give more context. Yeah, give context on that, bro.
Okay, so John Suntress, the host of Word Balloon, right? Everybody knows that.
great show.
He
By the
was
way,
reading the
great
comments
podcast.
in the chat. Great guy. And somebody was persistently asking John to ask Scott, is there going to be an absolute milestone or absolute milestone characters are going to show up? And in my head, I immediately got pissed off. I was at work, like I just dropped what I was doing. Like niggas, bro. Like excuse my French. And I'm just like, okay, y'all. Let's why the now. Granted, I would think that if I was the milestone group, that would be a nice play though. Just
Yeah.
sidebar, like because one, you don't have the baggage of the responsibility of what came from McDuffie and in the past. Kind of was the
Mm-hmm.
current stuff is struggling with right with Vita and shit. But I say stop asking them that because Milestone being involved with DC is bigger than a writer wanting to write a story for them. You could
Yeah.
have the
Mm-hmm.
greatest pitch if the Milestone group does not greenlight it. Because like technically, if, like I got a Static Shot story on me, but I wouldn't want to write it in the current Milestone universe. I would want to write it like
Mm-hmm.
how I was introduced to those characters inside the DC universe. Because I'm always gonna say those characters, for all intents purposes, are stronger with the backdrop of Superman in them. Unfortunately, I mean, like that's part
Mm.
of the narrative, bro. Like
Mm-hmm.
Icon is stands out because he's next to Superman. If you go back and read Worlds Collide, that's what made it special. But I digress. Stop asking them because, like I said, it's ask the ones that run it. Ask them about it. Don't ask
I was gonna
Scott.
say
Don't ask
it's not
Tom.
up to them.
It's up to those guys. And the milestone books you're getting, I don't know if y'all buying, I don't know if they selling. They somehow some of them won't die for some reason because my barber buys. I gotta buy those for my haircut, and
Yo.
I I, I don't know.
Sidebar
This
though. Sidebar though. Like we won't divulge too much. I read the Shadow Cabinet. The Shadow Cabinet that puts a pin on the current Milestone universe. It's 4 issues. Honestly, bro, that shit's some heat. It just finished up. Like I think like a couple weeks ago. Joseph Illich, I believe his name is.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, he wrote his fucking ass off. Like if you want to see the what I believe is the end of the Milestone universe that we got, he did such a good job with that.
Okay.
So like
Um.
I'll check it
I
out.
encourage everybody to read that. By the way,
Yeah, because I fell off after the first wave. Like I'm
It's a
sorry,
certain
dog.
writer that
Like
wrote Static completely wrong, and I was just turned
I
off from the very beginning. I won't
I
point any
mean that
fingers, but
the artist on Static was my issue. Not the art
him
itself,
too,
just
yeah.
because
him. But
he hasn't progressed in
like the
10 years.
first wave, it was decent enough, but I'm gonna sound like the old grumpy nigga again, dog. Like it just wasn't what it was, and I guess I got to get that out of my head. Like, hey, this isn't OG milestone. I understand. I got to understand that, but it
It's not
wasn't
even
for me.
2007.
Nah,
It's
Yeah,
not even
like
I'm gonna
2007.
go a step further. I think, and I know I always have my issues with ongoings or whatever, but like I think a lot of those books were kneecapped because they were given a certain issue count, and you can't
mhm,
really build a universe with us with those kneecaps. The reason why the OG milestone stuff worked is because like they were given a long leash. These guys
mhm.
weren't given a long leash. So I think that's why it was handicapped. But for what we got, I like excuse me, not milestone, I'm static. I read Blood Syndicate, it was alright. But the other ones I will go check out. But I think
Wait,
they
Ava, Vita, what's her name? Vita
Vita wrote
Ayala.
Vita.
the yeah, she
She's
wrote the
not on
first
Static no
two.
more.
Huh? No, she wrote the first two static ones. She wrote season 1 and season 2.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Season
But
I seen the
season
season.
two. Draper co-wrote it with her. He
yeah.
started doing more than just the art. I did, but like I said, I stuck with season one. But after that, man, and I need to go back to the Icon and Rocket because that was probably what I was enjoying the most out of all
Mhm.
of it. But it just, like I said, I'm turning into the old man, dog, because
Oh,
it
real
wasn't
shit. I totally get that.
Yeah, but
it
like
wasn't what I was expecting.
but you finish what you were saying about the milestone stuff, Quentin.
But no, I was just saying, man, like, y'all ask these questions and like we can't get an in continuity milestone book over in the main line. What makes you think we're gonna get an absolute one? Just realistically, we
Yeah.
should be happy that we got books like The Question,
Ooh,
Challengers of the
preach.
Unknown,
Oh,
like
the Adam
Black Lightning. Just
Project.
like I gotta catch up. I gotta read the last issue.
So
Um,
good.
but it is. But like we're finally in a place where we got a decent balance. Y'all complain about it all being Batman, but it doesn't feel like it's all Batman because it's all Batman in different eras, right? So you got Batman and Robin, that's year one, Mark Waid, and you got Batman and Robin current time, and you got Batman. But you got these balances with like fringe characters, and I just don't think why would you even waste John's time, Scott's time, and ask him questions like that.
Mm-hmm.
So just for all intents purposes, you're never. I mean, like we're gonna absolute universe will have to have like 10 or 7 complete bangers and run for like 10 or 15 years before you. I ain't gonna say 10 or 15 years, but a solid 5 year run before you can even think. We got to
Yeah.
start seeing Static involved in other things. When you start,
Yeah.
this is. I'll say this. You'll know when you're getting milestone content when when this next Injustice game comes out. If Static's in it, all right, that's the first tell, right? Because I don't know if y'all noticed. Look at the Injustice games. You can tell who got pushes, right? Like Black Lightning
Yeah.
got introduced in number two. He got
Mm.
a TV show. He got that mini series, right? Deathstroke was everywhere.
I mean,
Damien
hell,
was everywhere.
it's it's a mobile game, but that DC Dark Legion that just came out, I've been playing that a little. Look at that roster, dog. It tells you who's going to be getting pushed, and
Mm-hmm.
then and
Okay,
not
I
just
just started
absolute
today.
stuff.
I
Yeah, but
just
that's
started
telling
today.
you who's going to be getting pushed in the next wave of books.
And
So
KJ brought up a good point. I don't mean to interrupt, but he said Milestone is not a part of DC. DC has a distribution deal with Milestone.
That's why you shouldn't be
yes,
asking Scott Snyder about
exactly.
it in the first place.
So if all
Like,
right, so
yes, no, that's absolutely a valid point.
I
Like,
hate when they, but also I hate that statement too because you got to have context to that. Yes, that's the current state of Milestone, but if Milestone and DC would have took care of business 15 years ago, we wouldn't even be in
Mm.
this spot. So
Mm.
because Dan the Ditto, because it falls on him and maybe a little bit on Jim Lee and a couple other people involved, but that deal should have been done. Why, like that Teen Titan book that we were supposed to get with Supergirl, Steph, Static,
mhm.
that team, that book should have came out. Well, I mean, granted, Flashpoint happened, whatever, whatever, but there was no reason why the Milestone people weren't integrated more in the New 52. Like we got hardware in the Static book, but Static book was so drop, they fumbled it, right? But as Rebirth came, as these different initiatives happened, Death Metal, we should have seen Static and then more. I feel like those books would have sold more and been more successful if they weren't isolated in the Codaverse,
Yeah.
right? And maybe that's a personal. I hate the fact that they call it Dakota City. I hate it, but like I get it. I get it. I respect it. Respect Duffy. Nothing but love. But I think it's. I hate it. I hate it so much, bro. Like,
Yeah.
Dakota City as like a home base, but as a whole universe, like New York from fucking Marvel, not a fan of it. But
Yeah, we could have just like I
but
see
yeah,
a
so
scenario where like they're just part of the DC universe and we can just pull them in anytime.
it's
Yeah.
you treat it the same way. It didn't have like
Yeah.
I don't know why Milestone the Reginald and them be moving the way they move because you could have did the same shit that you did with Shadow Cabinet and how you did all these separate stories but inside the backdrop of everybody. So when
Yeah.
it's time to make a Teen Titans team, we can push Static a little more. But the
Yeah.
problem with that is DC was being cheap because that means you got to pay them more, right? And that's why the whole publishing. I mean, I get not wanting to sell the rights to your characters, but man, at this point, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. But no, I 100. I hear you. I hear you. But we'll see. I'm not against the characters joining, but there's a time and a place, and right now I hate to say it ain't the time or the place. And but speaking of which, um, we got some updates about Hush. So a couple weeks ago, it was Loeb and Jim Lee, and they gave us some details about like how Hush is gonna affect the Batman line moving forward. So I took some. Well, I have some notes here. So obviously we know we talked about it when we were together last time. You know, Hush is being split into two. So we are getting the first 6 issues in the main Batman book, and then the last bit is gonna branch off into its own separate thing. But you know, some of the updates here tells us what's gonna happen later on down the line with the Bat line. So um, this is gonna be tied into modern continuity, and Lee and Loeb did work with Zdarsky, and they worked with Jorge Jimenez. I can only assume they worked with other writers as well because you know it's not like Zdarsky and Jimenez were the only ones writing Batman over the last I don't know 6 or 7 years. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so we also have another important moment here is just like there's gonna be something in Hush. I don't know if it's gonna be part one. I don't know if it's gonna be part two, but something's gonna happen that's gonna affect the rest of the Batman line. So this is gonna affect Batman. It's gonna affect Nightwing. I assume Batgirl. I'm assuming Detective, and is this? I don't think I'm. Oh, probably Batman Robin as well. I think those are the only Batman books that's on the shelf right now. And then Jason Todd is gonna play a major role. This is a little bit of a spoiler for me because I'm reading Hush One right now, and apparently in Hush One there was a tease for Jason Todd to come back.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's when he was dead, but you know I haven't gotten there yet. I'm literally on the last half of the book. So he's gonna play more of a role, and I think that that's important because as a Red Hood fan, I've been looking for Jason Todd to get boosted more. You know, I like the last mini that came out, but I think fans want more. So I think
I,
this is gonna
I
do a
think
good
he gets
job.
a book coming out of Hush.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, one
I
And
think
thousand.
that's the big thing for the Batman line. I think he get another Red Hood book after that.
yeah, and then he says Loeb is intended to make this a gateway drug. So apparently, you know, this is more for like the retailers, you know, because this is apparently going to drive more people to the shops. And we've heard rumblings now that the sales,
400 goddamn thousand
yo,
copies
Yeah.
for a more than 20-year-old storyline that's getting a sequel. My nigga, do y'all know? I mean, yes, y'all know, but when Hush came out, bro, Jim Lee done got how many promotions since then? Loeb done had
Facts.
a whole career over at Marvel since then. Like, dog, you
and
mean to
yo,
tell?
no,
Go
I don't mean
ahead.
to interrupt, but I was going to say, like,
Go
I'm
ahead.
reading it now. I
Hmm.
understand why.
Yeah,
I 100% understand.
I got some early predictions of what happens.
go
Oh,
ahead.
you
Let's hear.
Oh no, no. Oh, hold that.
Let
Hold
Steph
that.
go.
Okay.
Hold that. I think what I'm about to say is gonna lead into exactly what you're about to say. Um, he also says, it with Hush 2, every character is gonna get a proper intro, so you don't have to read the original to enjoy it. I'm reading the original now because I just like context. I don't like coming into things blind. And I think there's another important bit here too. Oh, I think that was it. But yeah, go ahead with your theory, Quentin. What do you think
All
is going to
right.
spin out of this?
So the first thing I was like, I don't know if you guys know, but when Bruce was supposed to be dead, right, and he was lost in time, they really locked him in the bottom of the Batcave for the longest time,
Hmm.
right? And a lot of shit happened after that, like internals and the Arkham Day, whatever. I think there was a rumor that Bleeding Cool had maybe 3, 4 months ago, if I'm not mistaken, about Batman getting outed, right? Now, granted, I think that's contradicted by the previews of Match Run, right? So,
Mm.
but it would make sense if Jason got outed, right? To lead more
Oh.
into an Outlaws book,
Mm.
right? Or something like resetting the status quo for Red Hood. Um, uh, yeah, I think that's gonna be what it was. Because if Dick can get out of it again, I've had this theory for a long time that there's gonna be a reshuffle of mantles, coming up, right? Like Dick possibly going back and working for Spiral, Damien
Ooh.
taking up the Nightwing mantle and rocking the old mullet, similar to what happened in Justice. I think he just quit being Robin or naturally, right? Maybe he takes on the Black Bat persona, whatever the situation may be. We just had a really compelling arc for Cassandra, right? Coming out of her mini.
Ooh.
So I think it'll be something like that, right? To reset the status quo. Obviously, I mean, we don't know who's Batman technically in Match Run. I mean, we think it's Batman, but he does got a new suit and he's back to the blue. Um, Last person that wore that blue suit was Tim Drake in Battle of the Cow, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but I'll digress to I'll pass it to somebody else.
Oh, yeah, you're playing in very, very juicy territory. I like it. I like it. Okay, okay. Steph, what are your thoughts on some of these Hush 2 updates?
I'm still stuck on the 400,000. I still can't wrap my fucking head around that. I saw that tweet and I'm like, wait a minute, wait, hold up. And I'm like, I knew this was gonna go crazy. I knew this was gonna have like insane numbers because it's Hush 2, right? Like this is it can get lost in the idea that it's kind of technically, I mean, obviously they're saying it has like big repercussions, I guess, and like there's a big status quo shift that's going to come out of this book. But beforehand, it was just kind of like it just kind of seemed like a filler book.
Yeah.
So it was like even with that, it was just like it was gonna go crazy. Like it is literally a sequel to Hush of all things, but it's like 400K.
Nah, no.
That's wild.
AJ says some shady shit on the timeline that he's not saying here, so I'm gonna say it.
Oh,
He
no,
said,
I was
"Yo,
about to get that one.
no, you
Ever,
say it, bro.
ever,
Say it,
ever.
say it,
I'm like, bro,
Never.
say it."
don't you ever ask again why DC pushes Batman so goddamn hard? Y'all,
Exactly.
Yeah, you did say
y'all
that.
motherfuckers be like, man, if my character could just get this push, they'd be big. No, the fuck they won't. My favorite female character is Black Canary at DC. Tom King is writing his ass off on that book, and it's it's doing well, but it's one of the lower selling Tom King books at the moment. Okay, and you can't say, and that book got some push. You would think it'd be a little bit higher, but it's not. Dog, if fucking Kite Man got this level of push, he would not be as big as Batman. Batman is the GOAT. He is the truth. He is the light in the way of
Tabernacle.
DC.
Tabernacle.
He keeps the lights on in that building. Dog. Stop being willfully obtuse and ask, oh, they published too many Batman books. Bitch, Batman is how some of y'all favorite characters get some shine. Because if it wasn't for him, some of y'all characters would never show up.
Hey, we need the Joe Button horn right now. What the fuck?
Wait, hold on. I think they got one here. Hold on. I think I have a thing here. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on.
But oh look.
Yeah.
But no, bruh. Like y'all niggas keep asking about a Vixen book. Hey, you wanna know when the last time Vixen was in a book before Kelly Thompson just had her in Birds of Prey in an ongoing status? JSA in Rebirth when Batman left the Justice League and put together his own Justice League.
Damn.
Y'all keep talking about Duke Thomas. You want to know when Duke gets shine? And that's my boy, Batman and the Outsiders, Batman and the Signal.
Oh, we'll get to that later. Ooh,
bruh, like Batman makes it to where the characters y'all love can get appearances. Because I am sorry, bro.
Hey,
we
AJ,
have seen.
I'm gonna tell you the best one. Brave and the Bold. Brave and the Bold animated show gave a lot
introduced
of
so many characters,
a lot of light
that never would have gotten shine, bro.
And the true versions of those characters, keep it a bean with you, not your hype beast versions of them. The actual factual versions of them. But go ahead.
I mean, it ain't much more to say, dog. Batman is him. Batman keeps the lights on.
Amen.
If you would have canceled the Bat books, DC would be closed in 6 months.
Yup.
Nobody else has that weight over there. You as bad as Spider-Man, the mainline Spider-Man has been, it's the same way over at Marvel. You take him off the shelf, they're done in less than a year,
And
dog.
it don't
Like
matter how bad Batman does, bro. That
right.
book is always in the top 10 to 20 percentile, the
Because
same as Spider-Man. Same,
because you want to
bro.
know you want to know what happens when a Batman or Spider-Man book slips and doesn't sell well,
People get
bruh.
fired.
They exactly. People get fired. People lose jobs.
You
Mm-hmm.
DC
saw what Scott said.
Batman
I was
Batman
stressed out my first go around.
dog. Yes, when he
Mm-hmm.
said that, I was like, yeah, that explains it, dog. Tom King still had Batman selling 80,000 copies a month, and his run got ended 15 issues early, dog.
And they really
Chip
gaslit
Zdarsky,
Tom because that shit was gas, bro. I don't care what
yes,
nobody
dog,
say.
yes. Chip Zdarsky can say what he wants to say, and I'm up and down on his run. I like it more than I dislike it, but it had its moments. But I'm sorry that you did not willingly choose to leave
No.
Batman, bro. I've seen this game too many times with this
Mm-mm.
character. Your numbers drop. Batman fell into the fucking 20s. That shit set
That
off
never
alarm
should
bells at
never
DC.
happen. Ever.
That's that set off alarm bells, and they were like, "Nah, bro, you got to go." Here,
That
tell,
crossover fucked them, bro.
yeah, it absolutely did. It absolutely did. Like they told him, tell whatever you want to tell for this last story, and we got to get you up out of here. That's why you're
Mm-hmm.
getting a Hush too. It's a filler arc to a story that happened decades ago. It's gonna be quality. I have no doubt about that. We know it's gonna sell well, but please be clear. This was to give them time to cover their asses until they can get the next Batman writer in there.
And mind you,
Batman is
and also,
DC.
I was
DC is
gonna say this
Batman, bro.
too. I don't mean to interrupt you, but also like
Nah, you
you
good?
knew it was filler because it's like, yo, I keep saying this, guys, we just had a Hush story. We just had a Hush
Yeah.
story. Like
Hmm.
right before fucking it wasn't Dawn of Infinite Frontier. We
Yep.
He literally came back and kidnapped the whole Bat family. So we knew what type of time it was. So if we're doing this again and it's selling this much and the issue hasn't even dropped yet, no, I agree with AJ. I don't want to hear shit about what could my character can't get a. You know why?
Cause dog, you look at it. We just get the positions on the charts. We don't get the sales charts where they used to include actual numbers of what each issue sold. And yeah, I get it. It was during the time where the Energon universe was just kicking off, and then you had a new Turtles run by Aaron starting, and then the Ultimate stuff was really hot over at Marvel. But a Batman in the 20s, I
Never.
would kill to see what those actual numbers are. I wouldn't be surprised if you're talking 60,000 range. And
Oh,
DC was like, nah, bro, nah, 60 to 70 range. No, I'm not even gonna say 70 because Tom didn't go down that low when he was in the
no.
70s and 80s. So 60,000 ish. Which, by the way, 99% of comic characters would kill to be able to sell a 60,000 issue run. But Batman, nah, dog. That's
Nah.
like you said. That's somebody that has to get fired territory.
That's like the Lakers not making the playoffs for my sports guys.
Like
Mhm.
that's fucking insane. And also, I do want to add this in too, because I don't think it's getting talked about a lot. There was one part of the article that I think everybody should be paying attention to. The Bat Summits are back. We have
Yes,
not
yes, I
heard
forgot
about
about
the
that.
Bat Summit since. I think the last time I heard about the Bat Summit was
The one that
when
Castellucci didn't get invited to.
no, the one that Scott didn't get invited to. Margaret
Wait,
Scott.
huh?
That was Scott, bro. That was Scott.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Castellucci took up the run after her.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
the
that's
Bat Summits are back. So all this tells me is that for the longest time, these
handicapped the great
motherfuckers had.
Batgirl run because y'all
Oh,
didn't invite her, by the way.
oh no,
But that's neither here nor there.
yo, no. Scott's. That's what got me into Batgirl. But for the longest time, these Bat books have been running with nobody in charge. They had an editor. They had what's his name, Ben Bernathy. He was just an editor. But
Mm-hmm.
without the Bat Summits, those books have been running fucking rampant. Rampant. If y'all don't know
Yep.
what the Bat Summits are, I'm gonna give y'all the too long to read version. It's where every couple months all the Bat Riders get together and they talk about what's happening in each book. So that means Dan Waters is in the building. That means Tom Taylor's in the building. That means right now Matt Fraction is in there. That means who's writing Batgirl right now? Something.
Tate Barbell.
So
I'm losing his last name. Forgive me.
Brombell is in the building, and I can only assume Kelly Thompson is in the building too because Cassandra is in Birds of Prey. So that's where they
Yeah.
all get together. This is what's happening in my book. This is what's happening in their book, and then they coordinate. So they make sure all these books are in line with each other. And eventually what that means is eventually a crossover is gonna come. But it makes it so that you don't have to be reading all the books, but all the books are following a through line. So you're still connected regardless. So that part interested me because that tells me DC finally got the point. Like I remember all of us was in a room at some point on here talking about how disjointed these Batman books are. Like for fuck's sake, Ram V should have not been able to get away with half the shit he got away with if a Bat Summit was there. And mind you, he did his thing, but he got away with a lot of shit. Tom Taylor got away with a lot of shit. Mariko Tamaki got away with a lot of shit. So the fact that we have a Bat Summit now, that gives me excitement. That gives me excitement. So I'm here for this. I'm here
Shout
for
out to
this.
Chip though for getting the gig on Cap though.
Skeptical.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm ready for that.
Skeptical.
Me too.
Because how
You
many
are?
times are you gonna reboot Captain America?
Well, we haven't had. Well, we really haven't. The Sentinel run with Sam was good as shit, bro. I'm salty about it because it made Hunter a full-fledged villain, and I was just like, you had so much potential with him being like a Red Hood character for T'Challa, but I digress.
Oh, and yeah, he said. Oh, and he said, right. However you feel, Batman be selling. That's why people got to pick up and pre-order the minis they claim to care about. Talk your shit, brother. Talk your shit.
They gotta buy it and not read online.
Yep. We gonna get to that later. Don't worry. But yeah, Grayson also said we about to get a crazy Batman event coming soon, and but I'll end on that. To end this topic. Listen. We got Matt Fraction in the building. We got Tom Taylor in the building. We got Bromble. We got We gonna be eating good, y'all. We gonna eat good. This
Just
might be the
saying,
first.
I
What'd you
think
say?
I think I did call Matt Fraction taking the book though.
Did
I think I did.
Did we? I'm gonna go
I
back
think
and
me
watch that
AJ
live.
really low key said it at the same time.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So
Well, we gonna eat, y'all. We
I
gonna
think
eat
he's gonna
good.
tap into his Hawkeye type. He's gonna be on Hawkeye time, bro.
Yeah, just
Mm.
editorial. Just let them cook, please, please,
Yeah,
please.
I hope it goes better than the last time I was right on who the next Batman writer was going to be. Because I called Chip too, and
Yeah, you did.
I was rocking with Chip for the longest, but
You did.
like you
Chip's
said,
running
man,
with just
Gotham
feet,
War,
bro.
man. Yeah, Gotham War killed everything.
we'll see. So next up this one, this one. Heavy size. So I will lay the groundwork for this one. So we're getting a new mini Marvel Knights. Christopher Priest and Joe Quesada is going to be writing this. And it's going to be, long story short, somebody new is going to be taking over the Black Panther mantle. So I saw all the discourse. And listen, I want to preface this by saying, and I think I might have said it the last time. I think it was with you guys, this exact crew. At first, I thought the whole recast T'Challa thing was. I thought folk were just going a little bit too crazy. No, going a little too crazy. Y'all thinking too much into it. And then after seeing some things, I was like, okay, maybe. Then I saw this. I was like, oh, god damn it. See, now I can't be mad. I can't be mad. I understand now because at this point it feels deliberate. It does feel like Marvel is they're putting a message out there that, you know what, we really trying to get rid of T'Challa. So that now that's on the ground. White man Steph, you gotta go first on this one.
All right. All right. I'll just say this much. I don't have any more "what the fuck are we doing here's" in me anymore. I really don't. I'm so numb now. Like, I mean, it's cool. I mean, one thing, completely unrelated. It's cool to see the Marvel Knights logo back.
Yeah.
That's the only good part of this.
Yeah, that's really the one redeeming quality here. I mean, okay, let's just go over like every piece of like media that Black Panther's been in for a little bit and just see it, just like go over it, just so everybody in the chat understands too. They kill him off in the movie, off screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have a crossover game with Captain America where it's not T'Challa. That's in the 40s with Azuri. I guess, there's an excuse there, I guess. He's got his own solo game where he is playable, but he is only a choosable character, right? They let you choose who gets to be Black Panther. You've got the only time he's really ever respected in the comics lately, it seems, is when he makes an occasional appearance in Avengers and the Ultimate book, which, I mean, it's good that he's got like a mainline book where he's just the Black Panther, but like also if that was the whole point of the Ultimates is just like it's complete creative freedom. If that was the one book they didn't give him, that would just be complete hypocrisy. So they got to let that one happen. Let's not forget, we can't forget. We obviously got this, but we also can't forget the one that kind of baffles me the most. The X-Men cameo.
X-Men cameo.
Yeah, he had a cameo in X-Men 97.
Oh, really?
He had a little cameo, no voice lines, right? So they could have just skated on by and said nothing. But then
no,
I'm
they
pretty
decided
sure
to say, "Hey, this is going to be T'Chaka."
Yeah.
Bro, no.
And by the way, T'Challa's a child now in the X-Men 97 universe, even though he and Storm were the same age in that universe for decades. I digress.
Like he was in the Fantastic Four. Like he had episodes where he was in the Fantastic Four, and now all of a sudden he's a kid, and T'Chaka's back as Black Panther. Yeah, I mean,
I think the 97.
What do you even say?
Like poor editorial. I think that's what that was. I think they'll probably retcon that.
All of it's editorial because creators have said without saying in Marvel multimedia stuff, hey man, it's an embargo on T'Challa. I know nobody wants to hear from Bo because he's got his own allegations, but he was one of two creators from 97 who just came out and said, hey man, we're not allowed to use T'Challa right now. Like we see what's going on. All this goes back to why I said putting Kevin Feige in charge of all of Marvel Entertainment was always going to be a bad idea. Because yes, he's not in the office being an editor over comics. He's not telling y'all on the day-to-day what to do, but he can push narratives, boy. So the Guardians of the Galaxy, how they have resembled Gunn's team for the last few years, and Star-Lord's been turned into a kind of a caricature of himself. Where do you think that comes from? That's MCU. T'Challa being killed off or de-emphasized everywhere. That's MCU stuff, guys. Oh yeah, the Avengers game, which not many people played and is a dead game at the moment. He's in it. we take him off the throne though. So all right.
Oh, fuck, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got a question.
Go
Not
ahead.
to cut you off, AJ. Is this book in continuity, or
No.
is this just like
No, it's not.
okay, cool? Because I was about to say if
But
it's in continuity, technically they may have an out because technically he's exiled, and I would think if you're exiled, you can't be Black Panther. That makes sense. So
mhm.
um, that's why I thought
um,
maybe this was in continuity.
Cause well, to piggyback off of that, so and I'll let you go finish up, AJ. But two
you good?
things here. One, before we got this news, we did get the Imperial news because Jonathan Hickman is writing a 4-issue mini. Apparently, it's gonna like boost up the cosmic universe on the Marvel
And I
side.
need Hickman's T'Challa back. I need it badly at this moment, boy.
So right now, T'Challa, it looks like he's gonna be heavily involved because he's all over the promotional aspect of it.
Hmm.
Then, second of all, I did speak to AJ and Quentin privately, but I did watch the Black Comic Lords interview with what's his name, Jed McKay.
Yeah,
So yes, there was a little bit of discourse because we. I was actually with you guys. I praised that issue that came out of Avengers because it looked like this was the stepping stone for T'Challa to get something greater down the line. And according to him, T'Challa was supposed to be back in Avengers much earlier, but
hmm,
like we said before, the mandate from editorial came. They said we need to push this back. So one world under doom just got so happened to get slotted in, which pushed everything back. And I think he's gonna come back later on down the line. So it looks like we might have some care with mainline T'Challa finally, but it doesn't excuse the fact that up until now, Marvel themselves have been pushing the narrative that we want to get T'Challa out of here. So, with that said, continue on.
I mean, it's just this book because I do want to keep it on this book, right? Like they got Priest on it, and Priest coming back to T'Challa. If you would have told me that Priest is coming back to Black Panther, and you would have never told me this synopsis, bro, I'd have said, take my money, take it now, take extra.
Hey, man,
Um,
his one's so
like
good.
if you would have told me that, I would have been thanking every god in existence, bro. And then I get this premise, and I'm like, oh, okay, I see what y'all trying to do. You're continuing to do this narrative. It's like, hey, this is a mantle. It's always been a mantle. It hasn't. But we're gonna kill T'Challa off. We're gonna give it to someone else. Who are we gonna get to do this? Oh wait, we know that the fans of this character prior to the MCU, they don't like this direction of the version that we've been trying to push this character, and we've been trying to push this on the masses. And his fans, because look, let's call a spade a spade. Some Black Panther fans can be
Mm-hmm.
annoying. On the timeline, some of them have at times harassed
Tabernacle.
folks. Um, so I get it from that standpoint. You're trying not to. You don't want to be seen as giving folks a win, right? You think
Mm-hmm.
you're rewarding bad behavior, as you call it. But dog, this is your first black superhero, not first African American, but your first black superhero. That means something. And yes, we all love Chadwick. Chadwick was an incredible person. He was an incredible actor. He made wider audiences who did not know Black Panther fall in love with that character. You will never take that away from him. But
Re-highlighting
you
this comment, by the
cannot
way.
use his real life death to just say, "Hey, we're just gonna try our hardest to shelve this character in every way, shape, and form possible." You can't do it. Of course, there's going to be a backlash eventually. The death has worn off for a lot of people, and the shock of the death, I should say, excuse me. And
You
so
bringing
people are like,
Marlins.
"Hey, man, we want our character back." And so they knew that they have to know that these decisions that they're making with him are going to be unpopular. So what do? They go and get one of the most popular Black Panther writers in the character's history, right? Most people, and I'm a fan of the Colts run, but a lot of people weren't. A lot of older fans, they weren't. It's maybe my third-ish favorite run, but most people bounce between Priest and Hudlin runs,
Yep.
with honorable mention to Hickman, how he wrote him in his Avengers run. Though, but Priest and Hudlin are the 1 and 1A. You can wherever you want to slot them, that may vary. For most people, I feel like anyway. So you get Priest, you get him to come along and do this because as great as Christopher Priest is, he hasn't been having a ton of comics work lately. I know he's been doing the Red Sonja books. I don't know if he's still on that. It's been a while since I've read that.
Mm-hmm.
He did Deathstroke Inc.
Yeah,
at
he
DC,
is.
not Deathstroke Inc., but Deathstroke with DC within the past few years, and the Black Adam book, which was good, but Dwayne ran interference on that a bit
Mm.
when he was trying to make the hierarchy of power in the DC universe. He was trying to make that shit stick. So Priest hasn't had too much run, at least in Big Two lately. Oh yeah, the Superman book, the Black Label Superman book.
What? That's pretty
What's
good.
that? Yeah.
Superman Lost is pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
heard a lot of good things about it.
So now you get um, you bring him back to Black Panther. You automatically know that's going to put eyes on whatever you're doing. Like, so I'm as pissed off as I am about this book, and I'm not going to buy it. But at the bottom, at the very least, it's going to be a quality written. It's going to be a book that's well written. Like,
Yeah.
it is what it is. Christopher Priest is one of them ones, and it's going to be a well written book. Now, what is in the content of the book and whether or not people end up liking it, that's going to be another story. Everybody thinks it'll be a fake out. Not everybody, but some people are thinking it'll be a fake out. Yeah, maybe. I don't know at this point, man. You can't keep burning a fan base over and over and over and over again, and then expect them to keep coming around, keep showing up. So I'm very curious to see how this book actually does because I I'm suspicious that it won't be a fairly strong title for them, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
It, it it's a couple of things, right? Because it's like I am not mad at the reaction. Like if it's a fake out, this is I think because the situation here is so delicate. Like I don't know how the fake out would be received. And yes, you do have the caveat of it's not in continuity. But again, it all plays down to the narrative. It all plays to the narrative. And also Christopher Priest, like Snyder, he's not afraid to tell y'all what's happening behind the scenes. So fuck this book. No disrespect. Fuck this book. I want to see the interviews after.
Yeah.
I want to see
Yeah,
what
no,
went into the
that'll be
creation of this. Because Christopher Priest will tell you. He was like, oh, well, this happened and this happened. He is unapologetic. So that's what I want. That's all I care about. Give me the post-book interview. Tell me why did you say yes? And by then hopefully we'll get more of the story, but I want to know why did you say yes to this? Because it's like I'm going through Christopher Priest's Black Panther right now. It's amazing. It's dope. I understand why this is called a definitive run. I get it. But holy fuck, dude, like this is ballsy, but I want to know what happened here. That's all I care about. That's it. That's my only take. I want to know how this happened. But Quentin, what are your quick thoughts on this one?
All right, so first thing I gotta say is I don't want Black Panther fans to ever try to get in the pissing contest with Batman again because we'll never get disrespected like this. All right, that's one. All right, all right. So I don't want y'all to ever open your mouths and try to compare Bruce Wayne to T'Challa. No disrespect. All right, respectfully. All right, but seriously, to the point. I mean, it's we all know. Also, I want everybody to stop thinking them shelving him is so admirable because at this point it's disrespectful to everything that he put into Black Panther as a character. All the work, all the charity work that he did, everything that he embodied as T'Challa, both in his work and his personal life and on screen. At this point is disrespectful. So anybody that's saying that it's not is just getting lost in the fact that we lost a black celebrity, bro. And then I think
Mm.
at some point is kumbaya as that shit sounds and it's cool, but I think I've said it before to y'all in private that I do feel like that is something that in this space, artist wise, content wise, a lot of people that look like us get lost in the shuffle of you know I don't know how to explain it, but whatever you would call Wakanda Forever, right? Whatever you call
Oof.
that is what I mean, right? Like they get lost in that part of it. Like we lost Chad, but bro, but like if Christopher Reeves, if Christopher Reeves, we never got another Superman until Henry Cavill, bro. Damn, you know what I'm saying? The first superhero, like he gets paralyzed. We just gonna shelf Superman after like three blockbuster movies? Doesn't make any sense. Like it's just if you would have told me if they would have handled Wakanda Forever better, we wouldn't be here. I'll leave it at that.
Mm.
And AJ said it on the nail. Kevin Feige needs to leave while he's on top, right? Under
Mhm.
his reign, where it's completely his reign, arguably the shit that arguably he just kind of did some Steve Kerr shit. If we want to really talk some shit, he's really just a glorified Steve Kerr because the Iron Man plan, the Captain America plan, all of that shit was already in play before he took over. He really fucked
Oh.
it up trying to take out the Hulk. He separated the defenders and he separated the shield shit because shield doesn't even make sense. Shield doesn't even make sense. Like Agents of Shield doesn't make sense. So when I say he needs to leave while he's on top, if he leaves right now with what we got in the books, you could call it a career. You could coast off that, right? Like it's time for him to retire. And apparently he took the Star Wars job. Let them
Mhm.
deal with him. You know what I'm saying? Let them deal with Kevin Feige for a little bit, right? Maybe he can get Finn a goddamn solo movie.
Hey.
But I mean, this book I'm not buying this book, right? So to the point, I don't really got a leg in this race. I love the Charlotte and all, but like I'm not I'm not so up his ass like a lot of our a lot of our peers, right? Like the last few runs have kind of been when we got to intergalactic uh Nation of Wakanda. I kind of when they started talking about resurrected versions of characters that were bad guys to make it fit the movies, that's where they lost me,
No.
right? And
Mhm.
then I'm still not a fan of that. I granted I can see M'Baku having like a change of heart and becoming more of an anti-hero, but it should have been the original M'Baku. You know what I'm saying? Like not some you didn't have to give me this ass pull ass reason, right? Like Killmonger had a Venom symbiote last time I looked.
Wait,
And that
what?
was
What?
during
Yeah.
during the Wakanda for everything. I mean, the intergalactic. That's what brought me
Intergalactic
back.
Empire of Wakanda. Yeah.
That's what brought me
Yeah.
back because I was like, no, go ahead,
Oh.
AJ.
No,
Oh,
I was just gonna say, yeah, he had a symbiote. Because I mean, he was running around in space like he was the Black Panther for a while. Um, but he had never taken the herb. So he had a symbiote. The symbiote just approximated the appearance of a Black Panther costume, and yeah, that's how he was running around. M'Baku, like he said, was there. Nakia was there. Nakia is the one who always bothers me when they want to make her good. Now, like,
Yes,
yeah,
she's a
she
psycho.
was, like, yeah, she was down bad for dude, but she was a villain, like straight up
Yeah.
villainy, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so that's the one to me that always is like, all right, what are we doing here?
Like the only win out
But
of this whole thing was the we got black people got a new haircut. Two, the version of Killmonger that we
All
got.
right,
That's the
bro.
only dubs out of this, bro. That's the only like seriously like we can all say Ridley's run was a setback, right?
Yeah, of course.
yeah,
Like we said,
oh
it's a
Lord,
setback.
yes.
Colts, for the most part, pushed Black Panther to his limits, right? If y'all said, if y'all say Priest Run, which I haven't actually read for, I've thumbed through some issues, but I haven't read it in a totality.
Hmm.
Um, if that's the definitive run of Black Panther, the next one up has to be Colts, like logically, because everything you think about Black Panther now came from Colts Run, the kinetic charge, the purple highlights, like everything you think about him is low key Colts' run. Like we don't have Kate, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Kate Black Panther right now. So, and most children would recognize that version of Black Panther
Hmm.
unless they saw that one Black Panther show on BET, or I guess it started on
The
HBO
best
or
piece of
Showtime.
Black Panther content outside of the comics, by the way.
No, facts, facts. Because they actually put effort into it. They put the same amount of effort, like for like a TV budget in that movie they
Hmm.
did the actual movie. But to the point of this story, I mean, it's obvious. All right, like at this point, you're gonna just insult my intelligence, bro. And then
Yeah.
that's why I think the Russo brothers had to come out. I think they are recasting them, bro. Like it'll be ignorant not to do it at this point. Like at this point,
Hmm.
or if you're going to do it, have some balls and kill T'Challa off in the comics, and we can just fucking write it off, bro.
Damn.
If that's what
Okay.
you're gonna do, bro, like, because at this point, the setup in Jed McKay's story was really good. Him building a new nation and all of that with the
Mm-hmm.
gangs. That's a dope way to go, bro. If he doesn't have his nation, but you gotta build Black Panther. Black Panther has enough cachet to have some auxiliary titles to prop it up. Like
Yeah.
you need to have a Wakandan, like a city book, right? That's taking place in the main, the basically the royal intrigue book, right? The day to
Hmm.
days of that, right? You build up that speedsters and that random speedster guy that the whole speculation was he was gonna be in the movie and all of this. You built him up in Ridley's run, and we haven't seen Tolson do a bitch ass thing. So
I mean, you make a good point though, cause you know what? What's stopping Marvel from doing like Batman thing, right? Because we have the main Batman book and then we have Detective. Batman is where mainly the Batman stuff happens, but Detective is kind of more based on like the city. We can do that.
mhm.
You can
Um,
They
have.
tried to. They just did too many of them.
what I think
They
what's
had to.
happening. Nah, go ahead, Q.
No, no, you got it. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I think what's the biggest thing that's stopping them is because they appear to not want to use T'Challa in any meaningful fashion right now. Now, there are reasons for that we've discussed already, but like people have made it very clear the people who are tapped into Black Panther and Wakanda stuff, it's like, yo, I'm not trying to read about this world without T'Challa. So
Yeah,
I think you can get away with a detective style book, but you got to have a mainline Black Panther book on the shelves too,
exactly.
and you got to have even with the detective style book, T'Challa got to be in it. He doesn't have to be the focus, but like he has to have a presence, dog.
Yeah.
And right now he doesn't really have a presence in the main line. Like we shipped the last place we saw him, Avengers 20, and that was a great issue. I'm not taking anything from McKay on that, but like he has said, this absence is being stretched out much longer than it was supposed to
Mm-hmm.
be. So now he's not in your main line right now. And well, he had a couple appearances in the Miles book. I'll take that back. But I don't think Ziegler and um, Jesus, I just said my McKay. I don't think they're working any with any semblance of closeness as them coordinating on their books. So I think that was just a
Yeah.
happy coincidence. Hill is right has got him in Ultimate Black Panther, and that's like my saving grace right now. Like everybody was bugging on it being a slow burn, and
But now it's picking up.
I tried to tell folks a year ago. Like Brian Edward Hill has two speeds: slow and methodical, or all gas, no brakes. Like that's how Hill's writing style is. But I think a lot of people came to this book who had never read anything of Hill's before.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're like, oh man, it's boring, it's plotting. No, he is setting you up because it's like a boxer, dog. I'm going to set you up with a jab. I'm going to set you up with a jab.
Mm-hmm.
Jab, jab, jab. You know, might throw a straight in there every now and then just to get you off your game a little bit. But then I'm going to hit your ass with an uppercut. I'm going to hit your ass with a hook. I'm going to lay you out. That's what we're getting to. That's what Hill did with, hey,
with issue 12.
with,
Yep.
hey, Vibranium is sentient. It has a mind of its own, and it doesn't necessarily like the way that it's been used.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the type of shit that Hill does. And that's his slow and methodical version of Hill. You want all gas, no brakes, Hill? You go read Chariot, his creator-owned book.
Yep.
You parts of Batman and the Outsiders. Well, most of Batman and the Outsiders.
Wait, is Chariot the AWA book?
Yeah.
Yes.
I fucking love that book.
Yeah, bro. It's
I
good.
Y'all, it's amazing. AWA has some shit, bro. I just
yes, bro. Yes. Like, and that's one other thing because he's working on the sequel to that. So I'm like,
oh yes, sir.
Dog.
I'll be tapped in.
Yeah, I'm like, dog. Hill is great. You just got to let him cook. And when people don't realize that, you get mishaps that happen. That's why he gets booted out of the X office in Krakoa. That's the one issue that has left me salty about Krakoa more than anything. He was the only black man in that office, and like, oh yeah, nah, we don't need you. All right, okay, but yet his book sets up Hellions, and you don't get that without him. Then, so I mentioned Batman and the Outsiders. We see him with Wakanda, not Wakanda, Ultimate Black Panther. Hell, he did the Killmonger book. That's another of his.
That's right. Yeah.
Killmonger, that book. It was a mini, but it was a great mini. And then, like, just let Hill cook. He's coming back over to DC for this Power Company one shot.
We'll talk. Yeah, we'll get to that one after.
And they do not need to let him walk out the door again. That's all I'm saying on that.
No. But yeah, to wrap up, like for me, I'll say this right now. Oh, I'm gonna read this, but best believe I'm not reading it month to month. I have a Marvel Unlimited subscription for a reason, and this is exactly why. It's exactly why. It's just like
Marvel Unlimited subscription. Y'all heard him?
Yep.
Heard it?
Marvel Unlimited,
you heard what
y'all.
he said? Marvel Unlimited, not read only. And if you're gonna do it, at least buy the fucking book.
At least buy it. But nah, I'm gonna just wait for it to stack. And like, I'm of two minds. Like, because it's Priest, I want the issues. So I just want to buy it off of principle, but also at the same time, I'm starting to get hip to what the narrative is. The other part, just like a good faith, I also can't support it because it's like, yes, it's non-continuity, but two things can be true.
Tank the book, bro.
Huh?
We gotta kind of tank the book. Like we can't do what the Spider-Man fans do. Like at this point, like you can't just still buy it and hope they make the right choice. Unfortunately, Priest gotta hold this L.
Yeah, he gotta hold. Yeah.
Right?
So I'm like I said, I'm more hoping for the post-book interview. So I'll say that because maybe that might give us more insight. And allegedly, this book was written way before. So that's what somebody told that to me in my. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna pull up the tweet right now because I said what I said. And yeah, they what did it go? Okay, yeah, this is what it says. He says this book was not only before Chadwick died, but before the first Black Panther film came out. Relax, there's no agenda. I don't know how true that is. That's why I'm gonna wait for the post book interview. I don't know how true that is. That was a random person that was in my mentions. I'm not gonna take that at face value. I'm not taking that at face value. So we will see, but yeah, this is definitely a Marvel Unlimited. So yeah, it's gonna get supported, but I'm not paying no more than $8.99 a month for it. So,
Yeah.
which is what I pay for all the books that I'm currently not buying on the main line. But yeah, so moving on, this topic, I'm so happy we waited for this topic here because I have a lot of thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts. So, most recently, we got the Black Lightning book by Brandon Thomas. That was part
Oh
of the
shit,
first.
it's 11. I hate that. I hate that.
No.
interject,
Go
but
ahead, brother.
I do have to go.
No, go ahead, brother. We're not gonna stay
All
much
right.
longer, anyways. But brother, thank you for popping in, man.
Yeah, no
Y'all
problem.
good, man?
Yeah. All right. I'll get out of here then.
And then yeah, we'll one day when I have a Patreon, I'll show them the fuck shit you put on the screen. But
Well,
yeah, one day when I have a
I mean,
Patreon.
you got to show Quentin before we go before y'all go. You got to show him.
Okay, I'm gonna
Right.
drop this. I'm gonna drop this on in our other group chat, and just share your reactions on in the chat, please. Let me see if I could pull this up. Oh, Steph, you're so lucky because the file type of this, I have to go. No. I have to do extra to get to show it over to them. So you're lucky. You're lucky. You are so lucky. But I'll show it to them after.
man.
I'll show it to them after.
Okay. All right.
All right. But Steph, I appreciate you coming in, brother.
Yeah. No problem. No
All
problem.
right, bro.
What are you not going to promote my shit? What are we doing?
Every time you promote your shit, you say, "Don't bother me." You know, fine. Fuck it. No,
I'm
fuck
just
it. Go
busting
ahead.
your
No,
balls, man.
No, go ahead, Steph.
All right.
God damn it.
All right. You can find me at Steph_man_ I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. Listen. I don't know.
We love
looking
you,
at the,
bro.
I'm just looking at the top tweet.
God damn. Yo, Steph, I'll holler at you later, bro. Good night.
All right. I'm out. All right.
All right, Brody. Yeah. So we got Black Lightning. I was part of the first wave of the All-In books. So I just finished reading all 5 issues of it. And I've also been reading Justice League. And we also know that this was the tee up for the eventual DC Power book. And we also had the Power book in between. So I'm just going to lay down my thoughts right here. All right? I did not like Black Lightning. I didn't like it. I felt that Black Lightning was trying to do too much with those 5 issues. I still think, because I did have a conversation privately with Quentin and AJ. Yes, while Black Lightning, there was some setup in Justice League, and yes, there's other setup for Power, I still think there was a place for you to tell a very simple ABC Black Lightning story. My issue with this is that it was trying to do too much. It got to a point in the story where I had no idea what was happening in this book. Like, I blinked and all of a sudden Black Lightning's with the family and everybody else is together, and then the book is over. It was like whiplash. It didn't work for me. And now I had the Power one shot. And if I'm going to talk a little bit about that, and I'm sorry, I'm going to be crass about this. This is not how you get people excited for a new team. whoever that they got to do the individual stories did a major disservice. And not only the writing, actually no, the Vixen and Bolt story, that was okay. My big issue is just like, besides that, the stories weren't really interesting, and also the art was fucking atrocious. I have a very striking suspicion that like this is something that they didn't let this cook. They just said, "Oh shit, we need to think about black fans. We haven't done much for them in a while." But that's a lie, because you guys have been doing stuff for black fans. You gave us some of the best black stories in the last couple of years, and I'm always gonna go back to Green Lantern. I'm always gonna go back to Cyborg. I'm always gonna go back to fucking Steelworks. You know? So yes, DC has been doing great by black characters. But I think somebody upstairs was just like, oh shit, we need to do something big, and they didn't let this cook properly. So now how am I supposed to be excited for Power Company when the main book that you're trying to promote it, Black Lightning, it didn't even do a good job telling its own story? The one shot that you're using for Power was very rushed. There were some panels where people's faces weren't even drawn all the way. You have Duke Thomas, who's a grown... Why was he drawn like a little kid? Like, there was so much wrong with that. And then now you're telling me regular average people are supposed to be excited for the Power Company when you didn't even do a good job boosting this up. Like, what happened? And I get it. We keep saying black fans need to show up for black books.
Oh, we'll get into the numbers later.
But bro, if the black books aren't being written well, or they're not being drawn well, how can you expect people to support them? So I'm very disappointed in the last like 2 or 3 months of the last like 5 or 6 months, because beforehand I was praising DC. I said, yo, thank you for War Journal. Thank you for Steelworks. Thank you for all the other books that you guys have been doing. But what the fuck is this?
Mm-hmm.
So now, fellas, I asked this question: am I tripping? Take the floor, please.
No, you're not tripping. But I do want to play some context of things. Well, even before I get to context, number one, and this will tie into the numbers, which I'll get into in a minute. I got a sinking suspicion that they're not going to be doing these DC Power anthologies much longer. I think 1 or 2 more years tops, because I think that they believe that the returns are not there. So because of that, I think they're not even going out and getting, as good of talent as you could for these books. You mean to tell me y'all couldn't get Jamal Campbell for a story for one of these one shots in the anthology this year? Come on, bro. Eight pages as like y'all have seen my man's art. Hell, y'all have paid for my man's art before, DC.
He's on Satana.
Yes, and not just that. Thinking of Far Sector, which that art is a big part of what put Joe Mullen on the map. You couldn't get him for an 8-page one shot for this dog? Come on now. The Vixen and Bolt story, that was my favorite out of the book, but it's just getting to a point where I don't know if the effort is there. Like you said, some of the art in some of these, where it was faces that could have used some more detail. Sometimes things were just straight up hard to make out. And and some of that was in the Vixen and Bolt story, and that was, the good one. The Duke and Jace one was fine. It got me to read a Jace story again without being annoyed, so I guess that's a plus. But the one shot it seems like they're putting less and less effort in it. Because I don't know if anybody noticed this year. It was half the size of the previous two. Right? Like they were doing the 80, 90 page one shots. This one was like 46, I want to say. So already you see, okay, we're devoting less resources to it financially, at minimum financially. I think this is about to go the way of the Asian celebration, where DC did it for 1 year. They saw what the returns were, said, "Hey, it's not worth it." So now we just give you variant covers when the Asian Pride Month comes around every year. I suspect that's what's going to happen with your black characters. Sad to say, but I think it's what's going to happen because, and like Ro did say, if you want people to support, you need to give them quality, and I don't disagree with that. But when your big yearly black anthology book comes in at 193 out of 200. That is a damn disgrace. There, when you talk about that low on the sales chart, you are being outsold by reprints. You are being outsold by books who kind of fell in a weird spot on the cutoff date on the prior month before, and you are being outsold by creator-owned books. And I'm not talking about big time like Image or Boom creator-owned books. I'm talking about these small publishers who nobody has heard of. Like, that's the type of stuff you're getting outsold by. Okay? So that tells me that there is, at best, a disconnect between this effort that you're trying to do with these books, and at worst, a serious problem. So, I don't know. Maybe somebody needs to go back to the drawing board. On to the Black Lightning of it all. The Black Lightning book, I said on the timeline, I wanted to love this book. This book was not a Black Lightning book. This book was an ensemble book. Which is fine if you're going to, one, if you sell me on it being an ensemble book, but that's not what you sold me on. You sold me on a Black Lightning book. And two, if you're going to devote more than 5 issues to it. You didn't even give me the standard 6 for most DC minis. I can't remember last time DC on the mainline stuff did a 5 issue. I think Doom Patrol. I think that ended up being 5 issues.
No, but that got extended.
That got extended. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so now I can't even remember when the last time a 5 issue one was. Okay. So you're only devoting 5 issues to Black Lightning. In 2 of those issues, he is in less than half of the book. In a 3rd issue, he just beat the half by like 1 page. You spend so much time focused on his family, which his daughter's trauma, spinning out of absolute power, which is fine, right? Absolute power is a thing. We know it affected the Black Lightning family because it took them off of the board completely during the event. So, something was going to, that was stuff that was going to have to be addressed. Cool, 100%. I absolutely understand that. I feel like it could have been handled better. More of it could have been through Jefferson's perspective. We didn't get that. Too much of the focus was spent on Jennifer and Anissa. Because my sinking suspicion is, Jennifer and Anissa cannot sell a book. Let's call a spade a spade. Okay. But then you also want to set up the Power Company initiative. So now that's more page time being taken away from Jefferson Pierce, right? You have to bring back Josiah Power. You have to reintroduce him to modern fans. That's page space that he's losing again. fine. You're telling me you're setting up an initiative for your black characters who really haven't gotten any shine in a while, and you want to kind of tee them up in this book from another black character about another black character. Okay, fine. I can see the logic there. But again, you're only doing this over 5 issues. That's a very limited amount of space, guys. Mm-hmm. Then we get to the final issue where we bring in when Jefferson has his confrontation at the end with the, I don't know, I can't remember if it was a congressperson, a city council person, whatever, Harriman, right? Harriman had been in the book before, so that's not my beef with it. It's whatever. Dog, if you're telling me Jefferson Pierce's most well-known villain is the one behind all of this, is bankrolling all of this this strife that Jefferson has gone through over these 5 issues, maybe don't wait until the last few pages of the last issue to tell me that. If Tobias Well was meant to be a part of this story, put him in the story. That is a well-known, one of the few well-known Black Lightning villains. Hell, he was the central part of his TV show. I feel like that could have been a point, that could have been a selling point to get more people, more eyes on this book. Oh, is Black Lightning going up against a villain that I know? And I'm not expecting you to give them the dynamic from the show, but hey,
it's a good selling point.
Right. You know, that's something that can be used to get more eyes on the book. More eyes equates to more dollars equates to a possible extension. Because now we're going to talk about the goddamn numbers. After issue 5, I watched the Black Comics Lord interview about the series. And you know, they were giving the praise where they felt it was due to the book. They felt a little better about it than us. Mm-hmm. And you know, there were things that I did like about the book. I don't want to make it sound like I'm just completely shitting on it. But they said something that was very interesting. They said, "Hey, between our YouTube and our Facebook, we have 96,000 members. If we take just the numbers from our YouTube page, it's 76,000. If all 76,000 of y'all were buying this book would have been extended, and not just towards still in the miniseries territory. It would be an ongoing right now." Ooh. But the author not only agreed with that, but he said something else very interesting. Hell, he said if we took half of those numbers and everybody pre-ordered and bought this book, we would be an ongoing title right now. Kids, I'm not the best in math, but I know what half of 76,000 is. So you mean to tell me 38,000 copies? So this book sold less than 38,000 copies. So, hey man, like
math's not mathing, man.
Yeah, you know, you see all the people bitching on the timelines about, hey, black characters need this, black characters need that, which
I'm about to cook.
Fully agree, they do, but y'all need to show up for them. And people say, oh, well, if they just promoted the book. Now, this is one instance where Black Lightning was one instance where I'm going to say, hey, that the promotion could have gone harder, because on their socials at least, it got to about book 3 before DC talked about the book. Issue 3 before DC talked about it. But you know what? But you know where it was advertised? In the house ads, in the books before the comic launches. You know, when you actually buy a comic and you read it, there are ads in the book advertising what books are upcoming from a company.
There's even one, the recent ones. It did take until like a couple of issues, but I'm trying to see if I can find a recent book. But if you let me pull up Justice League. But yeah, they have house ads where it's just Justice League. And they show you the books. Yep.
You know, well, before the book launched, you want to know where there were ads for it? In my LCS.
Yep.
So, but see, when you don't buy books, you don't know that books are being advertised, because you want to read your books off of your website. I'm not gonna say the names because y'all just got one of y'all sites taken down, but that's neither here nor there. But y'all know the sites and y'all read them on there,
Mm-hmm.
and those books and those scans don't include the ads, so you don't know what's coming. Well, I'll take that back.
Mm.
Some of them probably do, but the house ads in between, when it's annoying when you're flipping through your comic and in the middle of a story, you got an ad smack dab in the middle of it. Yeah,
Ah, the 90s.
that that happens when you buy your books.
Mm-hmm.
You get advertised, you see advertisements for other books that the companies have coming out. So pre-order your books, or actually buy your books when they're coming out, and you will see the advertisements for the books that you complain are not happening.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Tag
here's
me
the
in,
other
AJ.
thing.
Tag me in.
I'm coming for you. I got one more. Because even when y'all try to say, "Oh, I read my books digital," hey man, I do. I read a lot of stuff digital too to avoid spoilers. Them
There's no
digital books
ads.
have ads in them as well.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all
Mm-hmm.
full of shit. But I'm gonna hand it off to Q. I'm sure he's got some good things to say about this topic. But take it away, man.
So I'm gonna lead off with I need everyone on the timeline to stop capping because
Oof.
if you look at some of the clout chasing, especially the pro black character accounts, they have 12,000 likes, 30,000 likes on some old outlandish sensationalized topic about whatever black hero who has a book coming out or they want a book. And like he just said, Black Lightning didn't sell 35,000 copies from the math, just from basic math. And so less than that. But let's think about everybody that was under all those tweets. Because I make a point to retweet Hill and Rodney Barnes and DC Updates is a really good account. I think he's done a really good job at keeping his account neutral. It ain't his opinions, it's just the news, right?
Spoiler is
Mm-hmm.
shit though, but that's neither here nor
Yeah,
there.
he is a little bit. But I mean that's just the nature of the industry right now, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first person to get it out. But more seriously about the book. All right. I will say I'm gonna start with love first. I'm gonna start with love. It's good to see Black Lightning had a mini series, right? That's the fact that it went five. I guess I'm okay with it. Volcania is canon now, right? Nissa got a
That was
power
cool.
up.
That was cool. I'll say that. That was cool to see.
Like I said, we're gonna start with the positives first. We got the power company coming down the pipeline, right? Um, but AJ and Roe, they both hit it on the head. This was should have been named the Lightning Family or the Pierce Family book. This
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a Jefferson Pierce book. And
Hmm?
I think I threw a lot of grace saying, at least the first issue, a lot of that took place in Justice League issue 1 or 2, right? Um, but I will say 5 started off strong. I don't know who's the editor on this story. I don't know who pitch this was. I don't know if this pitch was maneuvered and kind of chopped up, to fit the narrative that Wade was pushing for the initiative
Mm-hmm.
or absolute. I don't know what the issue is there, but you don't if you're trying to like coming into this initiative, I thought just based off the cover, they were going to prop up just Black Lightning, Star Sapphire, and the Atom. I thought those 3 people were going to get
Ah.
major pushes, and in theory, they kind of have, right? Because the Atom Project is a top 5 book in DC right now,
Mm-hmm.
right? Star Sapphire is prevalent in Green Lantern. She's had a lot of growth in Justice League and Green Lantern. Like I really like her
Mm-hmm.
character. I like Carol in the forefront as a hero. It's kind of a cool dynamic evolution for her. With Black Lightning, it's just why wasn't Tobias Wells in this book? Why did I
Yeah.
get a bullshit mayor candidate or like Senate person, senator? Um, it should have been Tobias, and then you had an opportunity to give Tobias a power up with everything coming out of
Yeah.
absolute,
Mm.
like to kind of put him on par with Jefferson, right? Like one. there's no reason why everything that was done in the Black Lightning TV show isn't just can't like just fall into Tobias's wheelhouse now. Just make him that guy. It's
Mm-hmm.
just make him him. Give him some powers, something that maybe he's rubber or some shit. I don't know. Whatever contradicts Black Lightning's powers. That's what Tobias Wells should be, mixed with a little kingpin, self-hating black man type shit, right? That was compelling. That's why the show lasts as long as it did.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but this book was more so about setting up Jennifer and Anissa. Now I don't know if they got a Thunder and Lightning book coming out or they plan on doing something with that. Um, but like you guys said, you do kind of get lost because it's it the what's the dude Isaac?
Yeah,
Uh,
I forgot. Like
that
that subplot, it was
whole
so
it, it, it-
jumbled.
yeah, like you didn't have time to make me care about Isaac, right? You saved him, that was cool. Then you brought him to the initiative so they can kind of well, no, he went home and he had the little power flare up. They brought him to the initiative. Then he was a bad guy. No, I remember the issue where like he like Volcano or whoever came to him and propositioned him or whatever. But this needed to be 12 issues or at least eight. You know,
Yeah,
this needed some room. This needed some legs. If you're gonna do these and like you said, these initiatives and these one shots, you gotta give them some room. Like Black Lightning, not the character that needs that much like micromanaging. I think
yeah,
if you're competent enough, you can get it if you're a competent enough editorial and writer and artist and y'all got a plan, there's no reason why Black Lightning can't sell 40,000 copies.
mm-hmm.
Because one, he had a syndicated television show. Like
Yep.
that means thousands of people were viewing that show. Why?
Mm-hmm.
And you're telling me you can't advertise or push? Well, I can't say they haven't been advertising because they have advertised all in on WWE. They're in
Oh
chocolate
yeah,
bars. It's in Walmart. They have advertised all in, right? So I'm not gonna say they're not doing their part there, but the issue is just you're micromanaging the wrong characters, right?
yeah,
Like I look at Challenger, the Challenger of the Unknown has way more rope than Black Lightning, which is weird because the shit they're doing over
mm,
there, like I'm learning about these characters on the fly. But I kind of think about like some recent podcasts like leading up to All In for Mark Wade. He really, 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 really likes Challengers of the Unknown, right? So that's why they're embedded into the story.
mm-hmm.
And I think Black Lightning's there because he likes Black Lightning and they need a black character to be in the lead. That's not Cyborg because he wants Cyborg with the Teen Titans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Traditional shit. So I do think it's a little bit of that, but I mean, it boils down to, bro, like it just needed more room. Now, the power issue, I like the Vixen story. I didn't really I think I went through the motions. I didn't wasn't paying attention too much attention to the art itself. Um, I I want to say I like the Signal and Batman story, but I really, 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 really have never liked anything by Vita Ayala, bro. I
Ah,
I know AJ, you just said that you didn't cringe when you read it, and I'm just like,
oh, I did.
man, Jace is not 40 years old or 50 years old. He's like maybe
Yeah,
32, right?
Yeah.
So he wouldn't be talking jive damn near. You know what I mean? And like you said, but Duke, I'm tripping. Yeah, Duke, yeah. Duke is about like 16, 17. He's supposed to be a
Nah,
nerd. I mean,
he's even older than that now because we saw him taking
okay.
college classes. With
oh shit,
Oh,
that's
well,
right.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
the
right.
last
yeah,
outsider story.
Oh,
yeah,
well, I guess he's 1920 then.
yeah, and
Um,
what was that in? Um,
but that's so I'll say it like this. I'm not gonna say Vita Ayala is not a good writer. I'm not. She's in a position that I want to be in, right? So I'm gonna respect the craft. But I feel like everything that she has been on has either been a reach, I mean by the people who put her in that position to have that job, if that makes sense. Right? I don't think she's grasped the voice correctly of Nubia. I don't think she
Yeah.
had the correct voice for Static, and she for certainly fuck sure doesn't have the voice for Jace Fox, right? So, and I think she's getting work. I'll say it privately,
Nah, you
but
can say it. You can say it, bro. You can say it, bro.
it's
Say what you gotta
she's
say.
getting work for a certain reason, and I'm cool with that reason. Don't get me wrong, I ain't hating, but you can use her voice on a character that fits it, like
Mm,
Harper Row, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
of a like oh girl from Spirit World, a
yeah.
voice where that could work, but you're forcing her to tap into something that she can't, because she didn't, like when you think about her. Static's angry, he's so angry. I was like, Virgil, wow. I guess he's mad because of Black Lives Matter stuff. I guess it makes sense, but she or they have, I mean, get the pronoun right, they have a tendency to over belabor points. And I feel like everything she has touched has not really been left in good standing after she left. So it took me out of reading that book, as much as the art carried it. There, and like I said, there was a good moment, like the moment they had, like the finally their teamwork kind of came through, and they had the idea like we should do this more. Like she nailed that, I think. But everything leading up to that was kind of like, man,
Danny,
kind of gets it. Yeah.
I think I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I would have preferred Ridley come back and do that one. I would have
Yeah,
taken Ridley. Yeah, I
yeah,
know that's a
yeah, yeah.
controversial thing to say, but and this is a little bit of a side tangent. Like, Ridley and Ryan Parrott are cooking on the Adam Project right now. Cooking. I think for this one story, it would have been acceptable for him because the last time Power came out, he was the one who did the Batman story. So I was like, why not just bring him back here? I mean, it makes sense.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, continue on, bro.
But nah, in the Power story, I mean, I left from that Jose story, like Josiah story, like liking it, right? Like I'm interested in about the character, right? Because I'm not really, I wasn't reading DC at the time when, the last Power series was going on, but like, he seems interesting enough. I like, the ending and the approach to Jefferson. I like that he's a prepared guy. I think if you can prop him up, a certain way, he could be a player in the tapestry. Um, but nah, I mean, this the book just I there was no plan. Like,
Yeah.
how you just said, like, there's the Batman summits back, right? I said it privately. There needs to be a summit and a section of DC strictly for minority and people of color, and the plans for those characters. And there should be a whole team dedicated just to that corner of the universe. You're building up Atlanta, you're building up Brooklyn, whatever you're building up, these writers need to be in, like, just same way like Ultimate Universe is, an absolute. This group of people need to be in cohesion, in sync with what they're doing, and then together that unit collaborate with the greater architecture, architectures, to put it together. But like,
Yes.
that's how you got to do that, because when you're doing this independent shit, like this is how you get Blood Hunt, right? This is how you get Blade Story getting cut short, because like, yeah. Hey, you know what's funny? Like, ever since you kind of told me about what was said, I do kind of look at Blood Hunt kind of funny in the light now,
Yeah.
because the Blade series was so good, and it had a bad guy that was pretty much the bad guy that was in Blood Hunt. So, and I don't know, but
How do I not mention Blade when I talk about Hill and all gas, no brakes? Oh my God, that first issue.
yeah,
But
it
that's
was
neither here nor
that.
there. Jesus.
Oh my
But
god. I just
you
reread it
know,
again. Yeah.
and I'm trying to read the new one, and I just, is that Hill too, or is that somebody else?
It's
Yeah, nah,
him.
that's him. I've let it stack. I've
Oh, yeah, I'm
It's
gonna
oh,
over
read it.
I
now.
got stuff to go through. It is okay.
Yeah, it's
I bought
over.
the
Like,
first Red Band. I'm gonna go back and get 'em. But
I'm gonna tell y'all right now, based off of that first issue, this is this is just branching off of Blood Hunt. This is not tackling what Hill did before Blood Hunt. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Yeah,
So if that's gonna if that's any more incentive to, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah,
yeah, and you know what's funny? You know what's crazy? Unfortunately, you're looking at the beginning of Blade getting the same treatment as T'Challa. So
yeah,
oh,
it's gonna happen
I'm
oh,
calling it right
as long as
now.
this movie keeps getting delayed.
Calling it right now, bro. Calling it right goddamn
oh,
now.
damn, that's a
And then
oof.
after that, if that happens, then you got to start having some real dialogue about Marvel and their practices at that part,
Mhm.
because you just had Dustin Wynn come out and talk about how they treat artists. So
Hey, no, if that's not a good note to like wrap up on, then I don't know what the fuck is, but like to end, like I wish we took more care. Like I'm also gonna give some grace here too, because I feel like it sounds like I'm shitting on it 100%, but like I will say this: Brandon Thomas, for the most part, he gets the characters. He gets Black Lightning. He gets everybody that was in that book. He gets them. He understands them. My issue with him, and that's just been an issue with him, you know, with a lot of the recent stuff, is bro, you don't gotta put too much sauce in it. This is too much
maybe
sauce. Too much sauce. So, like, I mentioned Deep Target. Like in the middle, I'm gonna say this for the same thing. I'm gonna
yeah.
say for Deep Target. There is a good story here. There are good representations of these characters. There's a good voice for these characters. The problem is that like the execution just needs work. That's it. All the pieces are there. It's just the execution. If he can nail that, my brother, he's gonna be in good standing. But the problem is just like not everybody's gonna have the grace that I have. Not everybody's gonna have the grace that Quentin has. Not everybody's gonna have the same grace that AJ has, right? We have to look at this
Facts.
from the grander point of just like the average reader. The average reader wants a story that's digestible. They want these characters to be propelled from the beginning to the middle and to the end. So whether they get a continuation or not, they at least say with this body of work here, no matter how many the issues, okay, this character, they grew. I don't get that here. The only thing I get from here is just like, they stopped some shit from happening, and Jeff is now the person that's gonna lead this new team. So now, which brings me to, and I was gonna say, I have a little bit of PTSD from what happened with Aquaman. I do, because he was the one that was spearheading that whole thing, and Aquaman did not even last the full trade. Maybe less than that. So now I'm worried you passing the ball off to Hill. So now Hill has to, in a perfect world, Hill doesn't have to do that much work in that one shot. But because the work has been so jumbled, like I don't even know how many pages that one shot's gonna be. Hill
I
has
think
to
it's.
write his ass off. What?
I was gonna say I think it's 48 pages, but then also, dog, look at like you just say it's gonna be jumbled. Look at all the stuff he has to tackle, dog.
Yeah.
First off, the Power Company storyline itself, right? But then you gotta okay, Black Lightning just had a book, so you don't have to do. Even though I wasn't the biggest fan of it, you don't have to do a ton of work with him, dog. Jace hasn't had much of anything since I Am Batman ended. Vixen had the what 6 issues in Birds of Prey. prior to that, you really hadn't seen her outside of one shots going all the way back to, I want to say, 2018 when Justice League of America ended,
Mm-hmm.
because that was the last ongoing she was in. And y'all know how they do Duke. He's background noise in most stuff that he's in now. Really hasn't had a strong presence since the Outsiders storylines in Urban Legends, and before that, Batman and the Outsiders. That's a lot of work to do.
Oh,
Well,
and
he's not
Bolt.
going to.
And
Yeah,
Bolt.
Bolt. I forgot about him. So he's not going to have a ton to do um with Duke. He's written Duke before. He's written Jeff before, and Jeff just got something. But okay, so that's Jace. So that's Vixen, and then Bolt. Dog. Okay, that's a lot for 48 pages, and you have to tackle a new team that's supposed to be coming out of this. Now, the Brandon Thomas has said, that there are plans for the Power Company after, if it gets an ongoing or mini, who knows? But he says even if it doesn't, there are contingencies for him to continue writing them. So, you know, maybe this is just more setup, but I don't know. Seems like it's gonna be a rough job, but good luck.
Yeah, man. So, in a perfect world, this could have been handled a lot better, so he doesn't have to do that much. But we'll see. I believe in Hill, but this is gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be a real tough one, and then this is gonna be the deciding factor on if we see more of them and whatever capacity. If it's gonna be a mini or if it's gonna be an ongoing. So, I I I really like what Quentin said, man. I like what Quentin said. I think moving on, yo, get some of your top tier riders, and also you. I said this in the chat, but I say it here too. Like, you know what? It's okay to throw some white riders in that conglomerate. Also, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like they work well together. I mean, what you got? What's his name? Jeremy Adams and Homie who did Cyborg. They're the ones doing Green Lantern right now.
Yep.
You got Ryan Perrick and John Ridley. They're doing the Atom Project. Throw some good white writers in there too.
Man,
Cause
it's white people. It's white people who can write the shit out of black characters.
yeah. So
Al Ewing on with Storm and X Men
yeah.
Red. Hickman with T'Challa, like in multiple times in different books. Like, y'all got to stop just wanting demographics to line up perfectly between writer and character. Dog,
Mm.
that shit is played out, man.
Like, so just do that. So yeah, I'm 100% on board with a conglomerate, and you throw a select few writers in there, and occasionally throw some big names in there too, and really boost them up, because that's the part about comics that I love, bro. It's just like, it's at the end of the day, when you take out all the fuck shit, it's literally just different groups of people helping other people out, right down to the fucking writing of it. So let's do that. It doesn't have to be just black writers. We've tried that. It's 50-50 at this point. Let's throw some other voices in there. Let's do it. Let's do it. But so we'll see. I'm okay with us meeting up again when the one shot drops, and we'll see how our opinions change. But I know it's getting late, so I do want to thank everybody who is in the chat. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you fellas here, including Steph. So I'll give you guys the time to just plug yourselves real quick, starting with Quentin. Go ahead, brother.
Flip, y'all. Same thing, progressing, paying people off, and then we'll be moving to coloring soon. I know I keep saying that it's not really much progression, but I let y'all know I am footing the bill totally all by myself, y'all. So it takes a little process, a little monkey grease to kind of grease the wheels, so to say. So bear with me. I'm aiming to have some tangible information about the Kickstarter come April, no, come May. That's what I'm looking forward to. That's the plan. We'll see if I can stick to it.
Word.
That is it.
AJ, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, as always, I'm AJ. It was good to be here with y'all. You can find me on Twitter at Mr. underscore Mitchell underscore the number two underscore the letter U. Find me there, give my hot takes about this comic book shit that we love. But yeah, that's about it.
Word. Yeah, y'all can find me on good old Twitter. Yeah, just shooting the shit, not as often as I used to these days. I'm only on the timeline for maybe an hour or two at a time. But yeah, Twitter ain't the same, especially when you got Kanye wilding out every other week. But that's neither here nor there. Um,
Dog, I
and
just saw the shit that he tweeted out and
bro,
tried to delete.
he
Um, boy,
bro.
he gonna have black SUVs outside his house.
For real. And also, yeah, as always, thank you guys for all the support. We are at 960 subs. So we are 40 away. We are on the fast track to 1K. So this is going it's going to be a party, y'all. It's going to be a party. And don't worry. Right when we get off the stream, I'm just putting the finishing touches to the next Ultimate Countdown episode, so where we're gonna talk about Ultimate X-Men, the last chunk of the first half. So I'm really excited for that video. It seems like we're one of the only few people that are singing the praises of the greatness that is Ultimate X-Men. So I'm excited to put that out. But yeah, y'all, thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys for tuning in, no matter how long you stuck in with us for. But it's your boy Rover Queen with AJ Quentin and Steph, who left. But yo, much love, much peace, and we are out.